fall a little bit short. Maybe this year is the year with that defense because people are going to give Georgia more respect.
Bart and Hahn, weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN Plus. This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Right now, Washington quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick's landed on injured reserve with a hip injury. He'll see more doctors to determine the severity of that injury and how long he'll be out. Fitzpatrick's on IR at least 3 weeks. Taylor Heineke starts against the Giants Thursday night. He'll be backed up by Kyle Allen. Jets left tackle Mekhi Becton with a knee injury is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Monday Night Football, Raiders-Ravens, 8:15 Eastern, ABC, ESPN TV, ESPN2, and the ESPN app. Following season-ending injuries to 3 running backs in a 12-day span, more obviously will be on the plate of Baltimore quarterback Lamar Jackson. The Ravens, though, also have confidence in running back Tyson Williams, who was on the practice squad last year, explains Monday Night Football analyst Louis Riddick.
This guy's going to shock some people because he's 6 foot, 225 pounds. He's fast, shifty, catches the ball well, smart, will block. But this kid, number 34, watch him because he's going to get a ton of opportunities, a ton.
Louis Riddick on Keyshawn, J-Will, and Max. College football, Alabama outside linebacker Will Anderson, one of the top pass rushers in the country, is day-to-day with a knee injury. The number 1 Crimson Tide playing number 11 Florida on Saturday. Texas making a quarterback change. Casey Thompson will replace Hudson Card as the Longhorns' starting quarterback.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
The vibes were immaculate.
I think it's easy. I think it's 31-13. The Jags win this game going away.
Yeah. They score more than 14 points in this game. With Deshaun Watson out on the field, that team is terrible. Yeah. I think last year's Jags could beat this year's Houston team by 10.
I can't believe I got to say this, but Jaguars.
Until the team took the field.
Ingram, left side, touchdown. So David Johnson alongside Taylor in the backfield on their 3rd and 4. This side, end zone, touchdown Johnson. Lawrence on 2nd and 13. Breaks a tackle, throwing on the run and overthrown and intercepted. Lawrence on 2nd and 9. At his goal line and throwing and intercepted again. At the 25-yard line, that's Hargrave. Ingram giving the ball, touchdown, Philip Lindsay.
I think the self-inflicted, I think we had 7 penalties in the first 3 or 4 drives. And I thought removing the ball, I thought, and then all of a sudden you look up and you see a damn penalty flag, and so it just, in somewhere, just, it just can't happen.
Just an overall sloppy performance from this offense.
On 2nd and 1, that pass is intercepted right in the middle of the field.
Suffering. But I understand if Jacksonville loses to Houston week 1, I'm going to overreact. I'm going to freak out, and that's going to be me.
Please tell me there's like a crescendo orchestra-driven music to this that somehow goes up and there's a finishing. There's like a to be continued in that open later on that we see the jubilous and victorious Jaguars down the road. Nice job, Casey Kurtz.
Nicely done, Casey. And spoiler alert, I was listening to that song. There is no – that was as high as it gets.
That's as good as
nothing
it gets.
But bumming. Yeah, it's nothing but a bummer from there. So
well, I don't think what we saw yesterday in Houston is as good as the Jags will get, but I also don't know if it will get, well, that much better that we need orchestra music with a crescendo. Okay, so wow, what a disappointment in Houston for everybody here in Jacksonville and beyond. Not very much in the silver lining department, the sunshine and rainbows department coming out of that one. Just a thumping by the Texans, and nobody thought that was possible, which is dumb because it's the NFL, and we know the Jags beat the Colts last year and all that stuff, which we all said, but we didn't want to believe. But still, nobody thought that was going to happen, just run out of the gym. And the Jaguars were run out of the gym, played awful football. Brent Martineau live at Sneakers. We have Jags Report live tonight. Jihad Ward's going to join us for the first time, first edition of 2021, so we have that coming up 7 o'clock on Fox 30. So I'm here throughout the afternoon. Ready to go for that. Austin Lane back in the Action Sports Jack studios along with Casey. on just a wild weekend in sports, right? I mean, from FSU Saturday night to the Jags yesterday. Imagine if you're an FSU and Jags fan, Austin.
Yeah, it's not a good Monday for you. I can only imagine because we cover FSU. I'm not the biggest FSU fan, but, I cover the Jaguars as well. And, once again, I don't want to be overreactionary and everything, but I feel like that game against the Texans, you have a right to be overreactionary. I think you have a right to be questioning what has gone on. I think you have a right to question where's this team going to go in the future. I really do.
I think you're right. You don't get too many deeply concerning tweets from Brent on week one, right, over the years. And there's a lot that was deeply concerning. And let's just jump right off the rip that we are now like 3 or 4 minutes into this show, and we haven't called a timeout, so we're already doing better than the Jags.
Yeah.
I mean, they called a timeout, Austin, on the second play, which really they hadn't even run a play because they had a penalty on the first play. I mean, it's unbelievable that they had to use a timeout, and their lineup issues reminded me of, Willie Taggart in Florida State more than any other addition to the Jaguars I've seen.
So there's a lot to break down of this game, and then there's a lot to be critical of. And it would be one thing if we come here after the first, NFL regular season game and we say, okay, maybe, the scheme wasn't the best. Maybe they got outcoached, yada, yada, yada. And we will talk about those things as well. But from me, what really raised the red flag is when you're supposed to be an offensive-minded team, when there's a sense that you're taking great pride in improving the offense, and your first however many scripted plays, and keep in mind, they're scripted plays, so you've gone over these plays before. Everybody should be on the same page. And the very first play of the game, penalty. The second play of the game, then I believe it was a timeout. And like that's what you set the pace with. That's what you set the season expectations with, was that. Unscripted plays nonetheless. It's one thing if you got a rookie quarterback and you're maybe in the third or fourth quarter and, it's a tight game and you see something that you don't like and you call timeout then. Okay, so be it. But you should not be calling timeout on the very first drive of the game. You should not be lining up in the wrong spot on the very first play of the game on, once again, scripted plays. That comes down to coaching.
Yeah, it comes down to coaching, and I think there is a little player responsibility. DJ Chark is the guy that lined up wrong, and then a couple plays later had a drop pass. It was a tough start for him in a big year, and I didn't think DJ played well yesterday at all. I mean, he was part of the drop party for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But the lining up stuff is really, it does go back to coaching, head coaching, assistant coaching. Urban Meyer will talk about the units of this football team and how he's got, everybody's in charge of their own unit. Well, he oversees all that, and so he's got to take responsibility for it too. And I just am surprised with an Urban Meyer-led team. I raved all offseason about communication and organization, and I think you have to be a good coach to do all those things. And we know he's been a good coach at the collegiate level. I mean, it's still football. We talked about him last week on the show. It's football, right? I mean, you might line up a little bit differently and you don't have as many plays, but it's football. The preparation, I thought would be a plus for Urban and this team, and it wasn't. It wasn't. They looked unprepared, and that's probably being overly dramatic, but that's the way it came out. They looked like they got out-schemed, out-coached, and everything, and outplayed, of course, and then, therefore, like I tweeted, they got blown out. There's no other way to really dance around that. We're going to debate some things today, but there's no debating that. Like, I can be the most positive guy in town, which I have been for 14 years, and I can't get away from that. I mean, that was right in our face, whether you're at the game, on the sidelines, or watching from your living room, Austin.
Absolutely. And another thing as well, and once again, I'm not even going to bring up the scheme right now or what the goal was. I'm just stating facts of what I saw. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even have a 3 observations video after the game because people don't need my opinion on what happened in that game. I mean, everybody watched it. Everybody was talking about it on Twitter. You don't need my expert opinion right after the game for that one. It just didn't look good. And once again, I promised myself that, all right, I'm going to stop swearing in football games, especially in front of my son. Not more than 8 minutes into the first quarter, said a bad word. Son heard it. Son told mom. Then I was in trouble. Literally the first game of the first quarter, and I'm in trouble at home because that's where we are right now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. But another thing, and once again, I don't want to get into scheme right now, and I don't want to get all this stuff. People, and I did a fantasy football podcast a couple weeks ago, and they're asking me, all right, there's a lot of guys that like on the Jaguars. Who you taking? And to me, when it comes to coaching and when it comes to game planning, especially your first game of the NFL season, you go with the unknowns because you have to be black and white here. There's the unknowns and there's the knowns. Now, the unknowns. Well, how well is Trevor Lawrence going to handle his first NFL game? Okay. How well is DJ Chark going to do coming off that finger? Okay. How well is Laviska Shenault going to do with a much larger role now in this offense? Okay, we'll see. How is Marvin Jones going to do playing with a new quarterback? Okay, we'll see. Those are all the unknowns. The one known that I do know for a fact is that James Robinson was the most dependent guy on this team last year. And that James Robinson gave you no reason not to trust him again this year. Now, I get it. The game got out of hand quick. It was 14-0 before you could even blink. But to have James Robinson only have 5 carries, and on those 5 carries get 25 yards, last time I checked my math class, that's an average of 5 yards per carry. But for him to only have 5 yards, 5 attempts, is baffling. And we even talked about this, I think it was on Friday, where we said, okay, we can maybe see Trevor throw. I don't need to see Trevor Lawrence throw 51 times a game. Now, the game got out of hand, and I get it. You had no choice. But you're going to be very naive, and you're going to be very delusional if you expect this team to win a lot of ball games if you're throwing the ball 50 times a game, because they're not built for that, and there's no way they can sustain that.
Yeah, and Urban Meyer said that today, and I have a thought on that, Austin. I know people are wrapped up in those numbers today. I don't know exactly the point of the game. I want to say it was maybe around the mid-second quarter, though. And so you're talking about some 20 to 25 minutes into the game, and they were on a pace that I think they wanted to be on. They were like 8 of 14. The problem was they were at 8 of 14 passing. They were going 3 and out in some of those, right? And then the score started to pile up. And then, so you're right. I think you just alluded to it. I think most people know this. He threw it 51 times because the score kind of dictated that in the second half, and they never just said, hey, we're going to run and get out of here. They just kept battling and calling timeouts and all this stuff, and maybe that's good. I don't know. He ends up with 332 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But I just don't think, like, it's one thing to me where it's like it's the game plan, which is just chuck it all over the yard. I didn't see that. I thought they threw it a little bit more early than I thought they might. But when they ran the ball, they got behind the sticks so much, so I'm going to defend them a little bit that, I mean, we don't want to see 2nd and 16 run plays, do we? So we get to 3rd and 13. I mean, we've seen that plenty of time over the years. I just thought the score and the penalties mostly dictated more than the play calling to get to 51 and 5 for James Robinson. I did think James Robinson wasn't playing enough in the early going of that game. I saw more Carlos Hyde, but I thought both guys ran pretty well when given the opportunity. The unfortunate part is there were holding penalties on a couple of their best runs. And then you look up at the scoreboard, it's 27-7. I do think at 27-7, you got to be a little careful how much you run the football if you're going to try to climb back into it.
So you're saying that you're cool with James Robinson running only 5 times in that game?
No, I'm not cool with it, but I do think the story dictated it a little bit more than that was the plan. I think if we're going to be like, well, I can't believe you only gave it to him 5 times. Well, they also tried to throw it to him some, and he dropped some. So I think. But
my whole point is that if James Robinson has been your constant, and once again, constant in the running game. Now, I get it. Last year, you count him as a receiver as well, but James Robinson's a between the tackles runner. So if you mean to tell me that you start the game going 3 and okay, whatever, so be it. You had something, you had a different wrinkle, it didn't work out. But then you don't constantly go back to James Robinson. You don't go back to the guy where we can unequivocally say he's probably the most consistent guy on your team right now. He's the most sure thing, and you don't get him involved in the offense?
Yeah, listen, it's fair game because it's out there. I also thought they got the ball to Laviska Shenault early, and then I saw him again in like the third quarter, and I said to the person next to me, where's Laviska Shenault been? Did they take him away, or did they stop going to him? because they did a nice job early on when the game was still, like a normal game of getting Laviska Shenault the ball in different ways, and then they didn't for a while. So, I think you can be critical of that as well. I think would we feel better today is the question. Is when they were down 37-14, if they had got James Robinson 10 more carries in the second half but lost 37-14, would we feel better that he carried it 15 times? I just don't know if that's the main story for me coming out of here, is that James Robinson got 5 carries, because there's not a part of me, and maybe I'm in denial, Austin, that thinks that's going to be the case. I think they are going to get him the football way more than that. I think he is going to be way more productive. I just think nobody in their right mind thought it would be 27-7 at halftime.
Okay, for me personally, I would feel better if you got the ball more in the hands of the guy that rushed over for 1,000 yards last year. That I know is the sure thing. Once again, I'm not sure. Everyone want to talk about Laviska and how he's going to look this year in fantasy football. I had no idea what Laviska was going to do in this offense. I'll be honest with you. Now, he had some great moments, right? You wish he would have got the ball more, like you said. But coming down to it, at the end of the day, if you had to slow the game down a little bit and at least set up some sort of balance, then so be it. I would have much rather have seen that from the get-go as opposed to just running, passing it all over the field.
Yeah, I was surprised even in the early going, to echo your point, that they were throwing as much. Now, it looked like they used some of those screen play, almost like New England does at times, empty backfield and other things to get the ball in the receiver's hands quick, kind of some of the stuff they did with Dallas that I think are effective almost as running plays. That's kind of the new age in the NFL. Buffalo does it. The Patriots do it. I think we do see it at the collegiate level. Okay, it might not be a handoff, but to your point, first of all, it's inexcusable 5 carries. Whether it's game dictated that, well, that's because the game was so out of reach and they should never be that far out of reach, or because they intentionally just didn't call the plays. You're not wrong. I know that's been a big talking point. I think situationally, though, that's not going to be the case going in. I don't think Trevor's going to throw it 51 times. I don't. They're going to be trailing big time in a lot of ball games if he's going to throw it 51. I do think Josh Allen might throw it 40-something times a game for Buffalo, given where he is at his career. So,
but even he doesn't do that. Josh Allen, if you go to the game logs, he's usually averaging 30-something throws a game, if that.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, and Patrick Mahomes,
sure.
You name it. I think some quarterbacks are going to throw it that much, and we talked last year, Ben Roethlisberger. You don't want to throw. Everybody knows they don't want to throw it 51 times. I think the question is did they need to try to come back the way they came back, or just kind of, all right, let's get the heck out of here. We stink today, which nobody wants to do that, but that's the case. My number one concern, Austin, is why can't you line up in the NFL? That is a major issue for me. And, Austin, this was not a problem in the preseason. And by the way, what people did not see, and maybe you saw it, Austin, the defense was just as confused at times. Here's the news flash. The defense does not get penalties for being confused and not lined up correctly. But the defense had substitutions going on and off the field, people pointing their fingers again. I actually noticed that quite a bit. I don't know if the TV would show as much.
No, yeah, you could definitely tell guys, were a hair late of where they're supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised there weren't more broken big plays because of that. To the Jags' credit, they didn't have a lot of those. The Hail Mary, the big run by Tyrod Taylor, they had some. But it wasn't because I think a guy was misaligned. But I was concerned on the defensive front, too. Again, you don't get penalties for that. But if you did, because you weren't lined up where you're supposed to be, I think the Jags probably noted a bunch of those today in their film room session.
No, and this is something that, I alluded to months ago, where if there was going to be an issue, it was going to be guys getting lined up properly, because this is going to be a defense that's going to be a little more confusing. It's not your vanilla 4-3 defense that maybe you're accustomed to running in other places. This is a defense that it requires your attention, it requires the calls, and it requires to blitz out of things sometimes as well. And you saw confusion. Now, I don't know, Brent. It's there. I don't really know what the solution would be. I mean, coming from, let's be honest. We consider, okay, was it too rough in training camp? Well, no, I don't think that was the case, right?
No.
Because they were tagged. Okay, so then do you play more of the starters in training camp? Do you throw more of the offense, and do you throw what you're trying to do on defense more in the preseason games? Well, then maybe. I mean, we sat here and praised, all right, these guys are healthy. These guys are ready to go. Like, mission accomplished. Everybody's healthy, set aside from Travis Etienne, but everybody else is healthy. Guys are coming in this game week ready to roll. Okay, so you went through the first game, and what do we have to say for ourselves now? And, this is quoting Urban Meyer, you got your butts kicked.
Yeah. Austin, do you think that's going to be a problem, though, or is that something that by week 2 we'll say that they look a little bit more like they know what the heck they're doing? Because I seriously, and I don't mean – this sounds really bad if you're a Jags player or coach, but like the last time I remember a team lining up wrong so much was Willie Taggart's Florida State team. And that never changed. Like, that didn't change all year. That was one of the problems with Taggart. Like, I just don't think that's going to be a consistent problem. It was eye-popping to me in week 1, mostly because we didn't even see it in the preseason. You've often said some things you're going to see that will carry over. Well, that wasn't the thing that we saw. Like, this was new that people couldn't line up. Was that DJ Chark not being around the last few weeks? The offensive lineman not being around the last few weeks? Maybe. But I do I would say that stuff is going to get cleaned up because, well, this is the damn NFL, and it better be cleaned up.
Yeah, if we're talking about the defensive side of the ball, and listen, I mean, I get right now Houston wants to praise David Culley as an offensive and so be it. Like, that guy's earned everything he's about to get coming his way in terms of praise, because you took a team that on offense nobody was afraid of. We even had one of the reporters call in and say, it's going to be low scoring season, and and then they drop 37 points on us, like it was nothing. Like it probably could have been more, set aside from a Philip Lindsay turnover and all this stuff. But regardless of that, you saw on defense, and we didn't raise the questions of, okay, this team's undisciplined, guys aren't getting – we didn't see that in the preseason.
No.
But there were signs. How many times did I say, hey, is Tyson Campbell going to be okay in one-on-one coverage? Is he going to get his head around? Well, I saw more Tyson Campbell getting picked on. All right? Yeah. That was an apparent thing. I mean, the game plan was obvious for the Texans. Yeah. You're going to use crossing patterns because the Jaguars were in man coverage, and they're going to say, I bet our wide receivers, whoever they are, Brandon Cooks, and then you had Danny Amendola, who I didn't know was even still in the league. I think he's 50 years old, whatever the case may be. You got guys like that doing crossing patterns saying, I bet our guys, who maybe aren't the most appreciated wide receivers in the NFL, can do crossing patterns all day on your cornerbacks, and you guys can't stop it. And guess what? They couldn't stop it.
Yeah, well, it showed you a glimpse of what teams are going to do. They are going to attack the passing defense of the Jaguars. I think that's crystal clear. I think they're not even – if Houston with Tyrod Taylor is going to sit back there and throw it, and by the way, almost throw for 300 yards, whoo, baby. Look out, Teddy Bridgewater. Look out, Kyler Murray. Look out, Joe Burrow coming in the next few weeks, because they ain't even going to try to run against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well,
so that should be scary for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got to get some of those things fixed on both sides.
And, hey, let me go ahead and say this right now. I'm going to say it one time, but I want to apologize to the Houston Texans fans and the organization, because the entire summer I made fun of you guys. I was all over your Twitter handle laughing, basking in just the crap show that was the Houston Texans offseason. But lo and behold, you guys shut me up, all right? I'll never talk bad about you guys again, because as far as I'm concerned right now, the Houston Texans have the Jacksonville Jaguars number. So I'm sorry, all Texans fans. Tyrod Taylor, I apologize. Danny Amendola, I just made an old joke about you, but, hey, you had a good game. I apologize to the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I owe an apology to Tyrod Taylor, by the way, since we're doing this, because I didn't think he could do what he just did.
Tyrod Taylor or Tyrod Vick?
I mean, he made some fantastic plays. I've debated over the years how good Tyrod Taylor is, and that guy was fantastic yesterday. You got to give him some credit. It wasn't just all Jags, you know. I mean, you do have to give some credit to the Texans. It makes you wonder, will they win more games, or was it just mostly the Jags? But we owe the Houston Texans and Tyrod Taylor an apology. Thanks, Jags. We have to eat crow here in week 1, and we're apologizing to the Texans. Thank you very much. We'll be back live at Sneakers Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Today, tracking partly to mostly sunny skies, and it will be a mainly dry day with only an isolated shower or storm possible in the afternoon with high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pedjag.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Now you can buy like a dealer buys. Save thousands on thousands of diamonds for a limited time at Beard's Diamonds.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm that voice from movies you watch on demand. DirecTV Stream brought us together to save the world.
Maybe not save the world, but DirecTV Stream does bring your live and on-demand favorites together.
Your favorites together.
I just said that.
She just said that.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on-demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at DirecTV.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Women's Board of the Wolfson Children's Hospital proudly announces the schedule for the 2021 Florida Forum Speaker Series. Four-time Super Bowl champion and broadcaster Terry Bradshaw on October 26. Major General Charles F. Bolden Jr., a retired Marine officer, astronaut, and former NASA administrator on November 17th. And Grammy Award winner and songwriter Tim McGraw on February 16th, 2022. The series will take place at the Times Union Center for the Performing Arts. Get your tickets today at thefloridaforum.com.
If you live in the Southeast, you know that air conditioning is king. And as the population grows, so does the need for more AC units, which means that there's more demand for technicians. And guess what? The HVAC industry is growing 13% faster than your average job, according to the 2018 Bureau of Labor Statistics. And on top of that, the average pay is over $22 an hour. And this is where J-Tech comes in. When you attend the HVAC-R program at J-Tech, you'll get the hands-on training that is focused on understanding the different types of HVAC systems, logical diagnostic procedures, effective repair methods, and so much more. And by the end of the program, you're going to be trained on all the necessary areas that employees are looking for so you can be their first round pick as a technician or an installer. To learn more about J-Tech, visit jtech.org or call them at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. That's 904-483-9460 or visit jtech.org.
I'm Rochelle Stoddard, president of Berman Brothers and Rubin Ironworks. The skills and relationships I've built through the Jacksonville Women's Business Center were essential as we succeeded in keeping all 70 of our employees on the payroll during the COVID-19 pandemic. Through the Athena PowerLink mentoring program, we had experienced professionals helping us navigate 2020. Jags Chamber and the Women's Business Center are in our corner, making us stronger in these difficult times. For more information, please visit JacksChamberFoundation.org.
With Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner, Kevin Harlan here from Westwood One with a preview of Monday Night Football, Week 1. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Las Vegas Raiders, and Kurt, John Gruden's Raiders hope to show off a new and improved offense.
Well, you're right, Kevin. This is high expectation year for both of these teams. For the Raiders, we're talking about getting over the hump. They've started fast the last couple years and then slowed down. They need to find a way to finish strong. Derek Carr and company find a way to get into the playoffs. And on the other side, Baltimore, they need to take that next step to become a championship team. But we know tonight we're going to be looking at that running back room that's been decimated by injuries.
It should be a good one. The Ravens at the Raiders, coming up on Monday Night Football.
For the ones going above and beyond. For the ones reaching out, helping out, and lending a hand. For the ones people count on. You can count on Grainger. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Backed by 24/7 customer support and specialists to help with hard-to-find products. Because you've got everyone's back. We've got yours. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly. Get more miles on the road with O'Reilly Auto Parts. A clean fuel system means better gas mileage for your car. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner for $8. Plus, earn double O Rewards points. For a clean, lubricated, more fuel-efficient system, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously sucks. Like losing's always hard, especially when you feel like you're prepared and had a great week and really think we were ready and just obviously didn't play well. It starts with me. I played really bad tonight, so disappointing for sure. I still believe in this team. I still know what we're capable of, and we did some good things. I mean, you see, we started off with some penalties, 3 and out, but then after that, we had a couple good drives. We're hitting some big plays, and there's a lot of good things there.
Well, that is Trevor Lawrence, and I think there were a lot of good things for Trevor Lawrence. I'm not sure for the rest of the guys, quite frankly. I don't know if I saw enough. But for Trevor Lawrence, I think I did see enough, and that is the one sliver. Oh, man. You know me, I'll try to find a silver lining, but I think we all are doing this. I talked to a lot of people flying back from Houston. A lot of Jags made the trip, and our entire plane last night was filled with Jags fans. Really would have been fun after a win. Instead, it was a plane full of sadness. But I think everyone I talked to has kind of brought up Lawrence. But yeah, he's that. I see that. It's okay as long as he does well. Like as long as we can see some growth there. It's amazing the patience of this fan base. My goodness, the patience of this fan base. But Jags, be careful. Don't ask them to be more patient. Let them be patient on their own if they're going to be. Brent Mortno live at Sneakers at Jack's Beach. We got Jihad Ward on the show coming up tonight. Jags Report Live, the debut 2021. We'll have some fun. As I always say on the TV side of things, man, we get these players. Yeah, I want you to meet Jihad Ward a little bit. We'll try to have some fun with it. I don't want to make every show feel like a funeral when the Jags lose, or there'd be a lot of funerals, over the years. So we'll do that tonight on Fox 30. Jags Report live from Sneakers. Hope you can come out and be a part of it. Austin Lane back in the Action Sports Shack studios. And let's talk a little bit more about Trevor, man. There's a lot that went wrong yesterday, and even Trevor Lawrence was far from perfect. I thought there were some moments in that game where he didn't look that good, quite frankly, and he admitted it too. But there were moments that he did look good, and there were moments that ball gets in there in a hurry. I saw enough to grab a little glimmer of hope that, man, this guy, he's going to be the special guy that this organization needs. My biggest concern is, can they be good around him, and can they do that sooner than later?
No, for sure. I mean, obviously, was it 7 drops yesterday? I think it was.
Yeah, at least 6. I think 6 or 7.
6 or 7 drops. Yeah. I mean, he showed flashes. Now, there was some garbage time in the mix as well.
Oh, yeah.
And it feels more like the whole Blake Bortles effect all over again in terms of the numbers, per se. But the throws that he did have, they look crisp. They look on point. Now, he had 3 interceptions. Probably should have been 4 interceptions, which, it's crazy how you go if you had, you went 3 and 3, but if you go 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, like how much worse that would sound. So there obviously is a lot to clean up. Once again, I think, he was trying to force way too much because he felt like he had to. And that's a testament right now to where the team is at and the offense is at. When you have a rookie quarterback in his very first game trying to force things because, well, he really has to, because that's all he has to do in order to try to salvage some sort of a game. And that's not how it should be your first go-around.
Well, you said it exactly. Like, let's really just set the table and call it like we see it yesterday. Because you go into that game, and we were talking about James Robinson, how much he ran the ball, how much he didn't, the game plan, all that stuff. Well, the game plan was not for Trevor Lawrence to throw it 51 times. It was to utilize his weapons and, move the ball and have sustained drives. That's what everybody wants to do. But it was to protect him a little bit, too, by running the football if they could get in those kind of situations. And so they did not want this to happen. But let's see how it got created. It was veterans lining up wrong. It was veterans in big contract years dropping passes in their hands. It was a score that got way out of hand that then forced him to just naturally, from a competitive standpoint, in my opinion, late in that second quarter and even a bit early in the third, probably press a little bit and try to do a little too much. And I thought the ball sailed on him at times, and he got a little inaccurate in that stretch. I think I tweeted it out, Austin. They went 5 series in a row after the touchdown where I think it was 18 plays for like 37 yards and a pick. And so that wasn't just everybody else. That was a little bit of Trevor, too, and some of the things that he missed. I think from where I sat in the press box, I don't know if this is as apparent on TV, and I didn't watch the broadcast back, but there were some open guys, like a lot, and he hit some of them, but he also missed some of them. And he missed, like, the bigger play or the potential good play. Or, right after they scored the touchdown, Austin, do you remember it was like 34-14, I think? They score the touchdown. There's a 3-and-out. And then there's a ball down the left sideline to DJ Chark. Well, if he hits DJ there, DJ's got 3 steps, and nobody's on that side of the field for Houston. So DJ, I mean, that's like a quick score. Boom, it's now 34-21 or something, whatever it is. And I'm not saying they come back and win. I'm just saying that was a play, like, I think he clearly missed. Now, he got hurried in the pocket a little bit. He actually, like, overthrew it and threw it out of bounds on that play. So, again, this guy was not flawless. He talked about the interceptions, and when you throw 3 picks, well, that's 3 picks, and you can't hide from it. I didn't think there were more plays. There's probably more like 5 to 8 to 10 plays that he wasn't that good on. But I just think we saw enough of some of the touchdown throw to Chark, some of the passes that he zipped in there. The usage of the tight ends was pretty good, Austin. I think they had 7 catches out of their tight ends. If that keeps up, that would be something that we didn't plan on as much, and that would be good. So there's enough there from Trevor. We're going to have to see more. It was not an awful first game, I don't think. It was an awful first game for the Jags, but I come out of it thinking, you know what, this kid's going to be a good player.
I mean, we're not doing the quarterback grades today. I think it was an okay showing.
Yeah.
Maybe an average to okay showing because – and eventually we hope that Trevor Lawrence gets to this point, but you didn't see it on Sunday. Eventually, like, he's going to have to get to the point maybe where he has to elevate the guys around him. And then, he has to make up for the mistakes a little bit. And you had a guy who pressed a little bit and couldn't make up for all the mistakes, right? And making up for those mistakes caused interceptions, and they caused turnovers. So, yeah, I mean, you can feel good about the good passes, and that's fantastic, but there was also a lot of throws that he would like to have back as well. So in terms of where does he fall in terms of the other rookie, I'm not even going to compare Trevor Lawrence to the other rookies that I saw play yesterday. All I saw from Trevor Lawrence was it was an okay showing.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And but you have to remember, one thing we have to keep in perspective. I think about this game, and I'm like, okay, Jags, I thought we're going to win. I thought they were going to win pretty easily, actually. I thought they'd come out of the gate strong under Urban Meyer and Trevor and just be better than a Houston team that we think is going to be pretty bad, even though we don't think the Jags are going to be great. So I thought we'd come in here today and we'd be like, if you asked me on Friday, I'd say, hey, we're going to come in after this game. Everybody in town's going to be excited, right? Trevor did some good things. Maybe made a mistake or two. Wasn't perfect. The Jags weren't perfect, but they got a win, and they looked pretty good at times. And so you grab onto that. Yet we all know in our own mind, we're like, okay, Jags are really not that good. They're still like a 6-win team, maybe a 7-win team. That's what I thought we were going to come in here today and be like, remember, this is still all about number 16. This is all about his progress and where he can take this franchise, because it is, win or lose. But now we're coming in here off a loss, like a thumping, like not like a late field goal loss, but a thumping. Like you were never in the game in the second half. It was over at halftime to the Houston Texans, who are expected to be just putrid all year. And even if they're good, they're not really good. Like, their good's probably 6 wins. So the whole mentality of what we thought this would be on a Monday is so different. And yet one thing is not different, and that is it's all about Trevor Lawrence. And, hey, listen, there's a lot of improvement to make. Like I said, 5 to 8 to 10 probably plays that just weren't really that good at all. But there were some good plays, and now we have to see where he goes. There are 2 scoreboards to keep track of in 2021, I guess is what I'm trying to say. What the Jags do and what Trevor does. And we'll grade them tomorrow, but what Jags did was an F. Thankfully, I don't think what Trevor did was an exact F, but it also wasn't even close to an A or probably a B.
But here's the thing, though. Isn't Trevor's progress and how we feel about him going to be a direct reflection of how the team is around him? Because, I mean, we were quick to throw out Blaine Gabbert and Blake Bortles. You know why? Because, they started losing. I mean, there was at one point where Blake Bortles got, we thought he was going to be the guy because what happened? He took him to an AFC championship game, and he got a new contract off of it. If this team theoretically wins, 2 or 3 or 4 games, are we going to be sitting here saying, well, at least Trevor Lawrence is good? I mean, I feel like there's a bigger picture here.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. There will be an element of that, Austin. I don't know what the win total is, but I know this.
Oh, I mean, okay.
I know this. Justin Herbert won 7 games last year, under 500, and we raved about Justin Herbert.
Okay, but let me go and ask you this question, though.
And they had a better team, by the way, too, around it.
Sure. But would you rather sit here on the first Sunday after, NFL Sunday on a Monday and say, oh, well, at least Trevor's okay, or would you rather be like the New York Jets and say, Zach Wilson played okay, but guess what? Our team can compete. Our team, probably could have beat the Carolina Panthers, and we're not sure about the Carolina Panthers either. Would you rather be a team like the Detroit Lions, who, in terms of their roster, look nothing on paper like they should be competitive, and go toe-to-toe with the 49ers? Now, they got some lucky breaks, but go toe-to-toe with a new coaching staff and a new regime? I would rather have that conversation and then include Trevor as opposed to saying, well, yeah, we're going to lose, but Trevor looks good.
Yeah, I would rather be New England and Mac Jones today. I'd rather be Detroit, but would I really rather be Detroit because they scurried a couple touchdowns to get that thing close in the end, and they have Jared Goff? I'm not sure I'm super excited about having Goff. So I don't know.
I'm excited that you almost beat a 49ers team who's probably one of the better teams in the NFC, and you went toe-to-toe with them. I'd be pretty excited.
Yeah, did they, though? I mean, they kind of had a miracle comeback in, the last 5 minutes of the game. Is that toe-to-toe? They were down by 41-13 or something.
I mean, I don't know, Brent. At the end of the game, it came down to the last play of the drive, and meanwhile, I'm watching the Jaguars game in the third quarter saying, well, this is over.
Yeah.
Time to turn on the NFL Red Zone.
I feel better about Detroit today than I do about the Jags, yes. I just don't know if you're asking me a trade situation. I'm not even sure what the situation is with the Jets. The Jets, okay, they battled. They have a better team maybe, but that's Carolina. How many Carolina is kind of like Houston. I mean, they might be a 5-win team, right?
I mean, I think Carolina on paper, we think they're going to be better than Houston. I think they have the better quarterback, the better coaching, I think they have better everything. I'm just saying I don't want to come in here every single Monday now and say, teams, whatever, but Trevor Lawrence looks good. That's not how the football is supposed to work here. That's not what it's supposed to be about.
Well,
I mean, I guess
not supposed to, but it is kind of about that this year.
Calm the Jacksonville Trevors then. Let's go.
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, the guy. I just disagree with that. It's not about that. I think it's about two things. Can the Jaguars do better than we think? Well, the answer to that is no. I think then the other side of that is, okay, do we have this guy that's going to be here for a long time? That is a very valuable conversation. And a very valuable way to think, I think, if you're in Jacksonville, because you just haven't had that. So, yeah, I think partly, I think they're going to get the doors blown off him against Arizona. But how does he play against the Cardinals? I think that is a topic, yeah. I really do. On that Monday, that might be the silver lining in it. And by the way, the silver lining is he didn't play great. He really didn't. I mean, he could have done a lot better. 3 picks is 3 picks. All right, we'll be back. We talk more about it. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He finds the promised land. Touchdown, FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
Outside the numbers to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. It's a touchdown, Florida State. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Noles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long. Right here on your home for Florida State football.
Sponsored by Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Goodyear believes in the power of moving forward. No matter if it's on the track, the court, or the field, movement makes us want to be more. It pushes us to go further, to show the world what we can do. Movement has the unique ability to change our perspective, to challenge us, to work for a better tomorrow.
Movement can even bring us together when we're still. Because if we're focused on the next move, we don't have to worry about what's behind us. Goodyear, more driven.
Hello, you have reached the Crooks R Us training helpline. Today, we're discussing the differences between a Safe Touch security system and a do-it-yourself security system.
One's professionally installed and monitored, while the other one comes in a box.
Well, yeah, there's that. As you know, houses with Safe Touch security systems are strictly off-limits to us crooks, for many reasons.
Professional installation and monitoring among them.
Correct. And by contrast, alarm systems that come in a box with do-it-yourself installation are a crook's best friend.
Plus, they have DIY monitoring. No comparison to Safe Touch's two-way communicator.
Excellent point. So to sum up, as crooks, you'll want to avoid any house with Safe Touch security. And tell your loved ones if they're going to buy something that comes in a box, just make it cornflakes.
Only one security system is truly the best. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Today, I took someone to their first job.
Today, I helped someone get to a medical appointment.
Today, I helped someone see their loved ones.
Today, I took someone to see a concert.
JTA bus operators are professional, trained, courteous, and proud. Become a driver of change. JTA is now hiring bus operators and is offering $10,000 to $15,000 hiring bonuses. On-the-job training provided. CDL training available. To apply, log on to go.jtafla.com/drive or call 904-630-3100. That's 630-3100 to become a driver of change.
The Center for Health and Sports Medicine delivers an individualized 360-degree approach to your health, providing a whole-person approach to primary care and sports medicine. With primary care and sports medicine physicians, mental health counselors, the Sports Performance Lab, and 24/7 on-site state-of-the-art wellness center, all under one roof, they'll work to maximize your health by creating a foundational focus on physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional well-being. The MD VIP program provides even more benefits, like appointment guarantees and after-hour care. Learn more at jacksfamilysportsmed.com.
Yo, it's Mark K from The Mark K Show, and if you're noticing any leaks in your roof after the recent rainstorms, you should call my friends at Galaxy Builders today. No joke. Their team of roof repair technicians is the best in Northeast Florida, and they offer free estimates. They're a licensed roofing and general contractor, so no job is too big or too small for Galaxy Builders. Get a free estimate at galaxyfla.com. Oh, and ask them about their solar attic fans. I've got two. They installed them. They're amazing. I love them. Get a free estimate at galaxyfla.com. Tell them you heard about it from me, Mark K.
He's kept you ahead of storms.
This is going to be a very active afternoon of storms.
He's taken you inside storms.
Look at the Reds then that have shifted a little south of Jacksonville.
And for 33 years, the Chief has seen it all. Forecasting severe weather days in advance. So when storms are headed your way, there is only one meteorologist to turn to tonight, the Chief. The knowledge and experience of Jacksonville's chief meteorologist, Mike Burrish. Action News Jack's First Alert Weather, only on CBS 47 and Fox 30.
Wake up to Wendy's and get a bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss breakfast croissant for just $1.99. Made with fresh cracked eggs and served on a hot buttery croissant that's fluffy enough to sleep on. It's time to wakey. Hit the Wendy's drive-thru and get your bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss breakfast croissant for just $1.99. That's a better breakfast for just $1.99. Only at Wendy's. We got you.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery prices may vary. Not valid in a combo.
ESPN 690, Bozard Ford and Ford's Garage are proud to present Be the Sun, Not the Salt. Do you know any coaches, teachers, or mentors who are doing all the good they can in the community and should be recognized for it? You and your nominee can win free stuff just for being sunny, not salty. Details and registration on WOKV.com. Sponsored by Be the Sun, Not the Salt, Bozard Ford, Ford's Garage, and Cox Media Group.
Oh, got home from the trip last night. Opened that garage door up. Walked in, no problem. Thanks to Easy Garage Solutions. Got to check them out. EasyGarageSolutions.com really changed our garage feel, getting everything elevated off the floor, all the boxes, the Christmas decorations. We had some folks over actually a couple weeks ago. They were checking it out. They're like, I got to do this. Yeah, you got to do it. You should try it. EasyGarageSolutions.com. It's been a game changer for us, a lot more space in the garage. And then the monkey bar technology. It's one-of-a-kind stuff. You can't get it anywhere else but Easy Garage Solutions here in the Northeast Florida area. And it is going to last a lifetime. Hang the bikes, hang the lawn equipment, hang the beach chairs, hang everything up on the walls with the monkey bar technology. Easy Garage Solutions. Check them out. EasyGarageSolutions.com. It's that easy.
Hey, what's up? It's Austin Lane. Check out Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 or ESPN690.com.
Hey, welcome back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We're live from Sneakers, Jax Beach. Jihad Ward will join us for Jags Report Live coming up tonight, 7 o'clock on Fox 30. If you can't make it out here, you can watch on TV. Hope you can do that. We'll talk more Jags. Have some fun as well, though. Hey, we've learned how to have a little fun during Jags losses, Austin. I mean,
yeah.
I will say that I'm just going to be honest with you, though. It is it's like I don't get a bonus if they win. Nothing changes if you – it's just a gut punch to everybody else. And when you do cover the Jags for so long and there's only been one winning year, like, it's exhausting sometimes, man. It's exhausting. You want to find a little hope. And I think with all the offseason of hope and Urban Meyer and this guy doesn't lose and Trevor Lawrence, and, again, that's where I still am on that train big time. And I'm not even off the Urban train. I don't believe that I don't think Urban all of a sudden overnight's a bad coach. I was a little perplexed at what we saw yesterday. I'll give you that. But these guys don't lose big, and I still think that's going to translate to the NFL. That's not what we're after here, though. We're after winning big. So I don't think they're going to be 2-15 every year under Urban Meyer with Trevor Lawrence. I think that's just not going to happen. That's me. I've long believed that. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they'll get way better this week and better as the year goes along, and I don't know how many wins that even means. But that was disheartening yesterday, you know. And some of it's we create the narrative with Houston and then everybody else does, but some of it's real. I mean, it is Tyrod Taylor. It is a Houston team that's got everybody on a one-year deal. I mean, it should have looked better than that for the Jacksonville Jaguars, without question. So it's disheartening for, I think, everybody in the Jacksonville area to see what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Texans are going to be that good this year. It wasn't supposed to look like that, let's just say. I think that's where the frustration mounts more than anything. I think it was a good litmus test to see exactly where this team is at and how well they approach training camp. And now you're sitting here being left with more questions than answers. And I'll be honest with you, if you want to know how bad it really is, I have the Tennessee Titans official Twitter page liking my tweets now. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at as a radio station who covers the Jaguars. The Titans are taking note, and now they're liking my stuff. And the Titans got beat by how much? So, but it's all good though. Titans are liking my stuff. Jaguars Twitter doesn't follow me anymore. It's just a good It's chaos,
yeah,
man.
And that's
it's
all
chaos.
because I guess like the Jags are cleaning out their Twitter feed and dropping fans that they did follow. I think there's I saw bits and pieces of that. I haven't seen the whole thing, right?
Thanks for stopping on by, Jaguars Twitter. We had fun while it lasted.
Did they unfollow you?
Oh, dude, I'm not followed.
I'm wondering. I don't even know if I'm followed. I mean, I might not be.
Stop! You're followed. You're followed. Company man, corporate show, Brent Marno not followed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. You got to be joking. You're definitely followed.
That's not true.
What do you mean it's not true? That they are following you. No,
Are they following me?
Brent, go ahead right now. Go on Twitter. Click on their Twitter page and tell me they don't follow you back. Do it right now.
Okay, they follow me.
Okay, there you go.
I mean, but wouldn't you? 23,000 others do too.
Yeah, there you go, man. There you go, man. How many years did you play for him again? How many years did you play for him?
Hey, none.
Cool.
I feel like I could have yesterday.
Hey.
Or some days.
Cheers.
Did they follow you at one time and now they don't?
Yeah.
Ah, so you're in that list. That's wild.
Didn't make the purge. Didn't make the cut. I'm not sure if it was my Christmas vacation tweet from yesterday that put him over the edge or what. But what do you want me to tell y'all?
A little hurt feelings in there.
I apologize for nothing. And by the way, I mean, I'm not saying I'm open for business, but the Titans keep sliding in the likes and the DMs. Just saying.
I mean, come on. Urban just asked you to try out like last week here on the show.
I know, man. It's crazy how we go from having fun to now we're here.
Yeah. Let's get Steven on the line real quick. I know he's been hanging around. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. More than welcome, by the way, to jump in today on a Monday. Should we yet call it a miserable Monday? It certainly isn't a Minshew Monday, but it's 904-362-9901. What's up, Steven?
Hey, not too much, guys. How are you guys doing today? Besides being miserable.
Yeah, man. I'm just trying to crack jokes as much as I can, just try to get through it. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, I'll try and make it quick before I start rambling because there was a lot of stuff that I did not like. I guess I could say Lovie Smith planned it right because I'm sure Austin noticed pretty much every play, loading up the box, bringing up the linebackers to the line, showing blitz, and he coached right for Trevor Lawrence. Normally they tried to run a lot of RPOs that I saw. Linebackers come up to the line. Trevor Lawrence thinks the blitz is coming. I'm going to pull it from the running back. So the middle will be open. He looks up. Guess what? The linebackers are in zone coverage again. And, I mean, it was just the whole game. I mean, a lot of times he pulled the ball from the runners, and I think they should have just let them tote the rock the whole time, or at least most of the time. And one more fact I want to get across. A lot of teams that we predicted to really stink really showed out yesterday. Look at the Eagles and look at Jameis Winston and the Saints, really proving everybody wrong in that game.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen.
First
by the
of
way,
all, the Eagles proving everybody, certainly not me.
Not you.
Proving everybody wrong? Certainly not me.
Just a warning for everybody.
Couldn't be
the Jags
me.
beat the Colts last year in Week 1, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just remember, Week 1's a little different animal, so you can get your chest puffed out for a week. But be careful. Just be careful.
Be careful about the Eagles, or what are we being
careful
careful
about? The Eagles. Be careful about Houston. Be careful about.
Good.
Be careful about anybody who won.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts look pretty good. Saints, be careful a little bit, maybe.
Well, the Saints. I mean, the Saints aren't one of those kind of teams. I mean, the Saints have a lot of quality players. The question is Jameis Winston, right? And
yeah,
he looked really good.
Yeah.
So, and I want to talk a little bit about that, like almost a no-show Sunday from some teams. I mean,
yeah,
just didn't show up for work, man.
No, for sure. And to echo Steven's point about, Lovie Smith, too. I mean, he's kind of like the Tampa 2 king in terms of defensive schemes. But, yeah, I thought he did it. He knew what he had. He knew what he was going against. He's going against a rookie quarterback who hasn't seen it all. So then what do? You throw things that he hasn't seen before and confuse him. And I think you saw a little bit of that from Trevor. I think he pressed a little bit. That's where the interceptions came into play. I thought it was overall a pretty decent job by Smith. I mean, obviously a guy who's been on defensive staffs for a long time now, back in the NFL after his short stint in Illinois. And, yeah, he had a good first call of a game, I think.
Yeah, by the way, it gets more complicated next week, I think, with a Vic Fangio defense.
And
a very good defense. So even more complicated from a mental standpoint for Trevor Lawrence.
The last compliment I promised on the Houston Texans, but Lovie Smith's beard.
Oh, so good.
Jay, you just keep doing you. What did Steve from Blue's Clues say? Hey, you're looking good, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, that's what Steve said.
All right, we'll be back live from Sneakers at Jax Beach. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. More Jags, more NFL talk.
You've been wanting a new ride. You just can't find what you're looking for, right? Well, you need to go see my friends at Arlington Toyota. They have over 400 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from. If you're worried about credit, don't be, because with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And when it comes to total peace of mind, Arlington's got you covered there too with their 30-day exchange policy. Shop in person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
It's tough out on these streets, especially if you're buying a car. Prices are crazy, and a car loses 20% of its value when you drive it off the lot. Get in a wreck, and you're screwed. But not when you get your auto loan from One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. All month, you get no-cost gap protection with a newer used vehicle loan. It'll save your butt in case of a wreck in the first year. Even better, our loan rates are crazy low. So get peace of mind with your Porsche. Get pre-approved at one-to-onefcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Temperatures keep climbing, and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Kinetico makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric, twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Kinetico dealer. It's a new approach to healthcare. The Center for Health and Sports Medicine is built on the pillars of health: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional, with primary care sports medicine physicians, mental health counselors, an advanced diagnostics lab for wellness and sports medicine, and 24/7 on-site state-of-the-art fitness facility, all under one roof. What does this mean for you? As a Center for Health and Sports Medicine patient, you'll receive medical care in a collaborative, proactive, goal-oriented manner. In other words, everything they do is centered around you. Learn more at jacksfamilysportsmed.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Perspective to challenge us to work for a better tomorrow. Movement can even bring us together when we're still. Because if we're focused on the next move, we don't have to worry about what's behind us. Goodyear, more driven.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi, continuing the countdown to the final game of Week 1 of the NFL season, Ravens-Raiders. Despite losing a trio of running backs to season-ending injuries in a span of 12 days, Baltimore will still find a way tonight to win its sixth straight season opener because of quarterback Lamar Jackson and its defense, in the opinion of ESPN's Dan Orlovsky.
I think Calais Campbell will be the best player on the field tonight. The Raiders, I believe, are going to start 4 new offensive linemen that used to be a really good group last year. Yeah. I do not believe it's going to be a group this year, and I think it's a good one, and Richie Incognito is not going to play tonight. The Ravens defensive line will dominate this football game. The Ravens win.
Monday Night Football, 8:15 Eastern, ABC, ESPN TV, ESPN2, and the ESPN app. Washington quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick put on IR with a hip injury. He'll see more doctors to determine how much time he'll miss. He's on IR at least 3 weeks. Taylor Heineke starts against the Giants Thursday night with Kyle Allen as the backup. Jets left tackle Mekhi Becton expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a knee injury. And Lions cornerback Jeff Okudah is out for the season because of a ruptured Achilles.
With no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, and an app that lets you bank anytime, anywhere, choosing Capital One is like the easiest decision in the history of decisions. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Not really. Obviously, I always like to tell the team we played, they played well, and they did. But self-inflicted errors on offense were crucial, with 9 penalties on offense, which is unheard of and absolutely unacceptable. We forced a couple throws that we just got to make the right reads. But about what I thought.
That's Urban Meyer. A lot to digest for Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars after that performance in Houston. Hey, quick thought, Brent Martineau from Sneakers right here, Jack's Beach. Austin Lane, the Action Sports Shack Studios. We'll have Jihad Ward coming up tonight here on the show on Jags Report Live, 7 o'clock. So hope you can come out. If not, watch it on TV on Fox 30. Hey, Houston did look better than anybody anticipated, Austin. I know there's a little bit of a narrative, does that mean Houston's going to be pretty good? Again, I think they took advantage of a Jags team that was not good. So I don't know this means Houston's going to be pretty good. But there was something that I caught when watching the game, and I'm like, dang it, Brent, you didn't factor this in, and you should have a little bit more. Not that I would have picked Houston, okay? This was the game to pick the Jags, no doubt about it. But I'm watching one time, it was like Amendola on like a 3rd and 4, and he was working against like Tyson Campbell. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this team is full of 1-year like has-been guys, and like they have 30-something new players.
Mm-hmm.
But we saw the stat last week, like where they're not starting any rookies. Like they don't have rookies. And I just wondered how much do you think that mattered like yesterday? Like there's a savviness about a veteran. Like I would say if you line up the players on the Jaguars and line up the players on Houston, you're going to get more talent on the Jags side of the football. You would be like, okay, I think that guy's more talented and that guy's more talented. But how much do you think the impact of like a savvy guy like Amendola, who might give you a little shimmy or can separate a little bit legally, even though it might be illegal, or just, being around the game for so long against some of those kind of guys that the Jaguars might have on both sides of the football. I didn't really factor that in. I don't know how much of a difference it even made yesterday, but I remember thinking about it in the press box. I was watching, especially that play. It was like a 3rd and 4. Amendola beat Tyson Campbell. I'm like, I should have probably thought a little bit more about that because it probably does matter to a degree. Even Tyrod Taylor's been in the league for a decade.
Yeah, but if you mean to tell me that a 35-year-old Danny Amendola, who's on his, I think, 7th or 8th team, is going to be the deciding factor of whether the Houston Texans are going to be good this year, I would say that you're pretty crazy. Now, do I like Danny Amendola against Tyson Campbell in that game? Well, yeah, obviously I think Amendola kind of had any cornerback's number, it seemed like. But I guess it comes down to, okay, if that's the excuse for that game, but when does that stop being an excuse?
Well, and that's fair. That is, again, I don't think youth is an excuse. I'm just wondering, I'm taking it all from Houston's side in this game. I'm not going to tell you Houston's going to go win 7 or 8 games. I don't believe the narrative that's out there today that, like, oh, Houston now in first place, which they are in the AFC South, but that they're better than people think and it's a weak division. I don't think that overall. I don't think Houston's going to come out of this division, okay? I just wondered in that game against the Jags, who are playing some younger players, I still would have picked, even if I thought about this, I wouldn't have picked them to win. I just thought, well, maybe they might make a play here or play there and keep this thing close or give them more of a challenge than even I was thinking because of some of that veteran savviness. And you do have guys on one-year contracts just trying to stay in the league and maybe make into a bigger deal. Maybe they did do a better job of building that team than we think. And I'll tell you this, David Culley did a really nice job of getting them ready because they were ready to go amidst all the noise of the offseason. Quick story on Culley, all right? And this is what the Jags just lost to. I walk in the stadium, check in credential-wise and everything, and in the stadiums there's not good signage. And what we usually go to is either the press box or we go to the visiting post-game room, where Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence will come in, and that's where we stash our stuff because we have our clothes and everything with us because we go to the airport right after. And, I take like a left, and I'm just walking aimlessly trying to figure out, okay, I wonder if this is where the visiting room is. And I see a guy in a golf cart. He's talking to another guy, and as I'm walking by, I just stop and say, hey, do you know where the visiting locker room is? And as I'm asking that question, I'm like, this guy looks familiar. And he's answering the question. I look down. He actually has like a name tag on, like a press pass, or a pass, not a press pass. And it was Culley.
Wow.
He's in a golf cart, like in the hallway at 9 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's right down here. I mean, I'm headed that way, too, kind of like very nice.
Yeah,
you
cool
can just
dude.
tell he's like the nicest guy in the world.
For sure.
Like in 2 seconds, you can tell he's the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
And he drives down the golf cart. We're walking that way. He actually like parks the golf cart, gets off it, and goes into like a different area of the stadium in a room. Well, as he gets off the golf cart, he puts a fanny pack on.
Oh, I can't. Hey, fanny packs are coming back in a big way, man. Those are in.
And I'm like,
dude,
and then after I'm thinking of this, I was like, the Jags just got thumped by a coach in his first game, nicest guy in the world, but he's got off that golf cart in a fanny pack.
No, for sure. No, I get what you're saying, but hey, don't hit on the fanny pack now. The fanny pack's a game changer. But yeah, it's not a good look. But you mentioned, the experience, the 1-year free agents versus the youth of the Jaguars. But at the same time, I mean, I looked at that game yesterday, and what? 2 rookies played in that game for the Jaguars? Like started? Trevor Lawrence and Tyson Campbell?
Yeah, I guess technically, right? I mean, their offense is full of guys that have played before. Defensively, Damian Wilson. Cisco ended up playing a little bit later.
But he didn't start, though.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's a good point. It feels like they're younger, but maybe they're not,
Yeah.
That's a good point. That was one of the things I think about. Go up and down that lineup. I did this. I almost tweeted this, but it was kind of hard to tweet. If you go up and down that offense, which, by the way, is a veteran group, give me somebody that didn't make a mistake yesterday. I mean, I would say Carlos Hyde, probably not. I don't remember one. Robinson dropped a couple of passes, a couple of sure-handed ones. Not that it really made a difference. They weren't like these huge drops, but still, it was like it helped just the overall optics of sloppy play.
Mm-hmm.
Every offensive lineman, I don't think Andrew Norwell had a penalty. I think he's the only one that basically didn't have a penalty. Now, what I don't know is did he give up a sack or a pressure? I don't know if that was on him. So I would say I'll put Andrew Norwell, Carlos Hyde. Manhurst got the touchdown. I don't remember him doing anything bad. Marvin Jones didn't do anything bad that I remember. I guess Laviska didn't really do anything bad either. So, I guess I can pick out 5 guys on offense, but all their offensive linemen except for Norwell. DJ Chark had himself a really bad start to a big year. Robinson did drop a couple balls. Trevor obviously made mistakes. Again, man, that's too much.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much, especially on a team that's supposed to rally around the young quarterback. You got all these guys that have played football before messing up left and right. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to win you a lot of ball games, and those issues, they have to be addressed. I keep going back to what Urban Meyer said, and essentially, to paraphrase, he said we got our asses kicked. That's what he said. That was live at the press conference. And to me, everybody knows that you did, but now it comes the question of, well, did you learn anything from it? Yeah. Right? And it's one of the very first things that you learn, in MMA or in boxing, where you may not win every one of your fights, but you either win or you learn. Now, this team has to take it upon themselves and say, we learned a lot about what we've done so far, about who we are and what we need to improve on. It's going to be, and I get we're still some time away before Sunday taking on Denver here at home, but it's going to be very telling to see what this product looks like in week 2 and just if they've learned anything or not.
Yeah, I think it's a huge. You say this all the time. I'm not as big a believer in this cliche in sports, year 1 to year 2, week 1 to week 2. But you've played it and you experienced it. So this would be a massive one for that. I mean, and Denver looked pretty good. I mean, I don't think Denver's like unbelievable. I think if Arizona came in here, I don't know if I'd want to go to the game.
No, that was Arizona's. They're a different animal right now. And, surprising with Arizona is their defense. I don't think anybody anticipated their defense was going to be what they were. But, you got Chandler Jones out there having 5 sacks, putting up ridiculous numbers. And, obviously, Kyler Murray is doing Kyler Murray things. I'd say I'd never say his name again. Well, here we are after 1 week because he's that good. So, yeah, I'd be a little worried about Arizona, but you can't sleep on Denver either.
Yeah, listen, I wanted to do this thing based off yesterday's performances. It's like no-show Sunday. I don't want to work on Sunday kind of performances. Mm-hmm. And the Jags were not the only one, Austin.
Yes.
I mean, the Packers, whoa. I mean, holy cow, was that disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
They had everything in their favor going into this game, all the intangibles. And, boy, did they just – I mean, that was actually probably worse than the Jags. The problem is they have plenty of equity built up, and they're not going to be like that all year. They've got Aaron Rodgers. So people are like, all right, that was a one-off thing. They even had – I think they lost to Tampa last year 38-10,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then you got the Titans, man. I mean, the Titans have to go under no-show Sunday, right? I mean, the Titans at home? Some people like Casey pick them to go and win the Super Bowl or go to the Super Bowl.
I mean, we picked the Packers. Both did.
Yeah, we did. I know.
So.
Well, I already put them in the category. I put them in the category. So they're both in the category. But,
yeah.
I mean, the Titans, they couldn't run. They couldn't block. Taylor Lewan is apologizing publicly on Twitter and thanking Chandler Jones.
As he should.
I mean, as much as you want to say impressive by the Saints, which it was, impressive by Arizona, which it really was, I think you got to say no-show Sunday for – not only the Jags, but the Titans and the Packers as well. And it might even be a little bit worse for the Titans and Packers because they're expected to do huge things. That's going to draw up big red flags with their fan bases.
Yeah, so it's funny because talking to my friends, that are diehard Packers fans, there's almost a sense we'll be all right. Nah, it was just we didn't show up. Yeah, there were some off-the-season issues, but it's going to be there's – I don't want to say there's a sense of calm from the people I've talked to in Green Bay, but like they're not panicking, which is baffling to me because, I mean, you let Jameis Winston throw 5 touchdowns on you. So, yeah, I'd be a little nervous on that. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, 0 highlights for him, so I'd definitely be a little nervous about that as well. I think with Tennessee, man, you know, you have to give credit to Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, I saw the highlights, and DeAndre Hopkins, the dude, I mean, if last season wasn't good enough, check this out. Now he's going to be making plays nonstop this entire season. I just think, you know, I don't want to overreact like we've been doing with the Jaguars-Texans game here. But I get the sense that, okay, Green Bay lost to a pretty good Saints team. I'll give it to them. Tennessee lost to a pretty good Cardinals team. I'll give it to them. The Jaguars, I'm not ready to call the Houston Texans good yet. I'm not even ready to call them mediocre.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, if they win over 4 games, I would be extremely shocked. And I'm talking about the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'll tell you this. I was watching a show in Houston Saturday night, and, like, you know, that's where you get some homer picks, and they all had maxed out at 4 wins. Yeah. Like, that's with the homer picks in there in a 17-game season. So I don't think you're wrong there, Austin. Now, listen, this is not me trying to couch the Jags' performance. I'm just here to tell you that there are some people who don't show up for work on Sundays.
Well,
and
no, sure.
The Jaguars team, the Packers team, the Titans team, they were the 3 in the league that didn't show up to work, in my opinion. I mean, there were some other scores and other things that you could maybe argue, maybe the Giants, whatever. But, I mean, those 3, especially based off expectations going into the game, I mean, and by the way, you're right on. I'd feel much better about the Titans if I'm the Titans because I know what I got and I know what we've done. I'd feel way better about the Packers because I know who we got and what we got and where we've been and what we're about to do. It's a long season. I mean, the Jags fans, we already know, like, the ceiling of this isn't very good anyway. And so that's why it hurts almost more because you played a team that's supposed to be the worst in the NFL. Your ceiling isn't that high, so this is one you're supposed to try to get, and you didn't get it. And now it changes from, hey, if you thought it was a 6-win season for the Jags, it drops it down to at least 5 and probably more like 4 or 3.
Yeah.
You know?
But so if you're asking like who I'm more worried about, though, I think the Titans will eventually be okay. But honestly, and I get it, people in Green Bay right now aren't panicking. I would do a little bit of panicking. If there was a panic button, I would hit it. I would at least graze it. I would maybe, you know, think about hitting it because you have a guy in Aaron Rodgers who might have had his worst game of his career. And, like, this is supposed to be like the last dance. You get the sense that this is the swan song for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, and he comes out and puts that performance up.
And by the way, I'll throw one.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'll throw one more team in here, the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, but the Eagles are rock solid, though, so I don't really blame them. Jalen Hurts, real deal, like I've been saying the whole time, but we'll see.
Brandon, I think you're the only one that thinks the Falcons were going to be good. I think that was like a you're on an island by yourself type thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like Iowa State winning the national title. I get
Boom!
it.
That's a good one. Good. That was good.
Like that.
You know, I don't necessarily think they were good. They were a sleeper team to compete because I don't think they were as bad as their record last year. That was stunning to me. Like, I looked up. It was stunning the way they got beat. You know, I think Atlanta's the kind of team that can probably lose to anybody, but I thought they would be a little bit better. Now, I'm a little speaking out of both sides of my mouth because I'm also not like a huge Arthur Smith guy. Like, I was glad the Jags didn't get Arthur Smith.
Sure.
And I looked in like the second quarter, man, and Matt Ryan had like, it was like 9 of 19 for 81 yards.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're running the ball. It's Arthur Smith. I told you that was going to happen. I told you that was going to happen. I told you.
And they couldn't run the ball.
Yeah, no, for
That's
sure.
the other thing. So,
and listen, we got to touch a little more on the Aaron Rodgers thing because I actually have a theory of what could possibly be going on with Aaron Rodgers. You know how we kind of talked about the whole his demeanor seems different. Dude's got long hair. He's got a beard. He's just super casual. And
yeah, I saw a CM Punk reference yesterday.
CM Punk reference, yeah. There's comparisons. I don't think CM Punk would appreciate that because he's just more of a Chicago guy than a Green Bay guy. But you know, and like the whole thing where I thought it was just all right. He's kind of trolling everybody. He's having fun, but then you see the performance on the field, and it's like, okay, is Aaron Rodgers okay? And now, Casey, you can appreciate this. I'm not sure if Brent's ever heard of this. Casey, you know what ayahuasca is? You know, like that whole tribal herbal stuff that people do on vacations. Remember when Aaron Rodgers went on that long vacation when the Packers are in OTAs and he's on vacation with I think it was his fiance at the time or wife, Cheyenne Woodley, who was in the movie Divergent, which I haven't seen, but we'll see, whatever. I wonder if he did ayahuasca, and then all of a sudden after that, like his whole mind didn't come back, and now he's kind of like this hippie dude with the long hair and the beard. Because if you watched him play in New Orleans, which I did, I didn't go to the game, but I watched it on TV, it looked like he wasn't back from his ayahuasca trip. So I wonder if there's something there to be said for Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying, when the documentary comes out after the season and Aaron Rodgers on record saying, yeah, you know what happened? I did ayahuasca and I didn't come back completely. You're going to think of me and be, oh, Austin was right.
Is there any chance Aaron Jones was with him, by the way? 22 total yards, bro?
Yeah,
Come on.
I know, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the fantasy teams
dud.
out there.
I mean, that was amazing. And by the way, you got to, like I said, you compliment the Cardinals and the Saints and even the Texans and the Eagles. Was that? I looked a lot at the rookie quarterbacks. Was the Sirianni win? Was that? Who else, rookie coach-wise, or Culley?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Who are the new coaches in the league? Obviously, Saleh didn't win. Urban didn't win.
Did the Chargers win?
Yes.
No. Oh, yes.
The Chargers did win.
2016. Yeah.
Yeah, Chargers won. So there you go.
That's the Chargers, and that's a defensive guy from the Rams. Who are we missing? Anybody else? There was more turnover than that, wasn't there?
Okay, you get the Eagles,
the Giants
Falcons,
lost.
Yeah, but hey,
but the Giants,
Daniel Jones, turn the ball over again. It's the Eagles, Falcons, Jaguars, Texans, Chargers, right?
Is that all the moves were this year?
And then the Jets.
Oh, the Jets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some guys did well. I mean, the Sirianni one was most impressive. Certainly was the case. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we continue to visit the Jaguars. And, how about that offensive line? I mean, do I owe an apology to everybody else on that front, too? I mean, what can I be right about something?
I think
not really, because I saw my picks again.
I think. Hey, at least you made improvement.
Yes, I did make an improvement. I mean, who is worse right now? The Jags or me?
Yeah, I mean,
it's debatable.
You have a win.
I feel bad, man. You're taking a lot of L's lately, Brett. All right, and then now the Eagles are doing well, so now you got to hear about that from me.
Yeah.
Your fantasy team though was okay.
Did you win fantasy? Did you win?
Not done yet, but I got a couple guys going tonight, so I have a chance.
Okay, there you go. See,
good.
Sunshine and rainbows. We're good.
I'm not out of all my survivor pool things.
Who'd you take?
I took the Rams, and I took Ty told me to take the 49ers.
Way a little too close for comfort that game, though.
I know it, huh? How about that?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We're live from Sneakers Sports Grove, Jacks Beach. Jihad Ward joining us tonight on the show, Fox 30 at 7 o'clock. It's Jags Report live on the TV side.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mainly dry on this Monday with a mix of sun and clouds, temperatures in the middle 80s. Skies stay partly cloudy tonight, low 72. And then partly sunny on Tuesday, widely scattered showers, high around 87 by afternoon. A little bit wetter by Wednesday and Thursday with scattered showers and storms each day, highs in the middle 80s. From the Action News Jacks First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Corey Sima.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Now you can buy like a dealer buys. Save thousands on thousands of diamonds for a limited time at Beards Diamonds.
Seems like a no-brainer to me. If you install it, you ought to be able to service it. But for gas-fired water heaters, there are a whole lot of plumbing companies that can't and won't service them, even though they're happy to install them. Now, just think about that. They don't have the expertise to work with gas, but they're installing a gas unit. Does that seem like a good idea to you? Seems like a recipe for turd buckets to me. You might as well have Acme parachute that water heater in and have the Coyote install it. At Griffin Service, not only are we the same-day water heater specialists, we're also the gas-fired water heater kings. And that goes for both tank and tankless units. And naturally, we're certified to service and install them, because we fix what others can't. Plus, we have water heaters in stock and ready to roll same day. So if your gas water heater needs service or replacement, or you're thinking of switching to a gas-fired water heater, it's kind of a no-brainer on who you should call, isn't it?
GriffinService.com.
1430-261.
The Center for Health and Sports Medicine delivers an individualized 360-degree approach to your health, providing a whole-person approach to primary care and sports medicine. With primary care and sports medicine physicians, mental health counselors, the sports performance lab, and 24/7 on-site state-of-the-art wellness center, all under one roof, they'll work to maximize your health by creating a foundational focus on physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional well-being. The MD VIP program provides even more benefits, like appointment guarantees and after-hour care. Learn more at jacksfamilysportsmed.com.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey folks, living in Florida, we don't really worry about the seasons except for one, hurricane season. And since your home is your most important asset, protecting your home with Rhino Shield against harsh Florida weather is good for your house and it's good for your budget. As the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to your house, those cracks in the walls will cost you thousands if not repaired. Rhino Shield waterproofs your home with a coating that's 13 times thicker than box store paint. It reflects 97% of harmful UV rays, has a Class A fire rating, is salt air corrosive resistant, contains the highest quality ceramics, and of course it comes in any color. Plus, with our 25-year warranty, you get a non-prorated 100% transferable warranty that guarantees against chipping, cracking, and peeling. So call 904-519-5055 or visit rhinoshieldjacks.com and protect your house and your budget.
So you'll never have to paint again. Call Rhino Shield today.
Hey, boss, I found some silverware in the dining room.
Nice. So you're sure you smashed the alarm system when we got here, right?
You mean that plug-and-play do-it-yourselfer? Yeah, it's dead. We got all the time we need.
Oh, look at this. The box the alarm system came in. Isn't this cute?
An alarm system in a box. Boss, I'll never understand why people don't just get a Safe Touch security system.
And they probably think they're saving money.
But that's the thing, they're not saving money.
You and I know that. Thankfully, these folks didn't. You know, there are a lot of great things that come from a box. This isn't one of them.
True.
Hey, let's just take a minute to appreciate that tonight, we don't have to worry about the Crooks R Us golden rule, stay away from Safe Touch houses. And remember, kids, boxes and alarm systems don't mix.
Only one security system is truly the best. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Koala, koala, koala insulation.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Did you know that according to the Department of Energy, heating and cooling account for almost half of the home's energy use and expense? As the heat of the summer drags on, stop wondering if you have an insulation problem and call us for a free evaluation. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation. We started our insulation business because we wanted to help people save money on those energy bills, reduce their carbon footprint, and live a healthier life.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282. That's 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Koala Insulation. Clean, knowledgeable, and trusted.
Hey, boss. Just got done with Case in Neighborhoods. Hey, have you noticed more Safe Touch security signs in yards lately?
No, I'll bet it's because of back to school.
Back to school?
Yeah. See, back in the old days, parents who worked in the afternoon had no idea when Junior got home from school, right?
Yeah. Oh, but now with Safe Touch, the app lets him know exactly when he walks in the door.
Right. Parents love it. And Safe Touch video monitoring can show him exactly who the precious angel is walking in with.
Oh, I get it. Safe Touch is like an extra pair of eyes for mom and dad.
Right. So the kids are never home alone.
And parents are never away from home.
Precisely. It's also one more reason why we crooks got our golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. Simple as 2 + 2.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. Call Cordell & Cordell. You're not alone.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
O'Reilly. Get more miles on the road with O'Reilly Auto Parts. A clean fuel system means better gas mileage for your car. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner for $8. Plus, earn double O Rewards points. For a clean, lubricated, more fuel-efficient system, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Very consistent. Josh Allen played the best on defense, and Malcolm was there. And I don't have that sheet in front of me, but Josh got the only guy really that played well enough to create a winning effort.
That is Urban Meyer talking about a couple of the defensive players. Really not a lot of winning efforts, I would think, on both sides of the ball. A lot of mistakes for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're live at Sneakers in Jacks Beach. We'll be here tonight as well on the TV side of things, 7 o'clock on Fox 30, Jags Report Live. We debuted for 2021, really a fun show we've done on Mondays, and as I say, we're going to have some fun regardless of the wins and losses of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have learned how to do that in the television producing world, and we will do it tonight. John Ward is our guest for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and look forward to getting to know him. I don't know if he's going to show up all over the field. I don't know what you noticed about him yesterday, Austin Lane. But he's really a great character. And the Jags are going to need guys like that to make sure this stays in the right direction and where they want to go. That's why they brought some of those kind of veterans in. Again, I'm not sure. He's not a Pro Bowl caliber player, most likely. Yeah. But he's a guy that knows Joe Cullen. He's around good. He knows what good defenses look like. And they need some of that mentality and kind of get it going in the right direction. Did he catch your eye at all yesterday?
He did a little bit. This is a guy that's flying around. He brings a lot of energy, and I feel like that's why he's found a home here in Jacksonville, and I think that's why Joe Cullen kind of handpicked him to come help this defense out, because I think a lot of the things that Joe Cullen preaches in terms of effort, intensity, and skill, I think that you make a case that Jihad Ward does bring those to the table. So I just think it's a situation where if you're a coach, you have to get your point across, and you brought a player that can do that.
Yeah, one other thought about the defense in general. I thought Rayshawn Jenkins made some – I feel like he flies around a bit, and I think he's a guy that I notice a lot. I like his energy. I think he's a good player, Austin. I think he obviously made he shouldn't have pushed Tyrod Taylor out of bounds. That was a dumb penalty. And really, I think he made a lack of awareness play. What I would call, and I know this would probably take some heat if I would say this to the player, but what I would call a selfish play. Yet I think you're also trained to try to go get the ball and get turnovers. But on that Hail Mary play, it was 3rd and 9. All he had to do was deflect the ball. That's the IQ. That's the awareness play. He went to try to make the hero play, the selfish play, in my opinion, and he wasn't really in position to do that, as proved by the result of the play when Brandon Cooks caught that Hail Mary. I mean, do you disagree with me there?
No. I get it. All he had to do was bat the ball down and you're off the field. Absolutely. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. At the same time, though, coaches always have the cliche phrase of saying, I want you guys to be athletes, not robots, right? Now, you have to pick and choose your battles. If you know the down and distance, if you know that, okay, if the ball gets batted down, we're off the field, well, then that's as good as anything. You know what I'm saying? So,
especially in that spot.
Oh, especially in that spot as well. So I'm never going to fault a player for trying to make a play, I guess what I'm trying to say. But at the same time, you have to know the down and distance, and you have to know where you're at in the field and what's on the line right now. And in terms of risk versus reward, it wasn't worth it. Now, I'm not telling players, all right, well, you guys got to, you're not like insurance agents. We got to analyze every single risk and say, well, should I do that? No, you can't play like that. It's football. You have to go. But I'm just saying, you got to know in that situation, if you just bat the ball down, that's the play that you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm going to talk more about the defense with you in a bit because I just know that's where your eyes go, and I want to ask you a little bit more about them because I think individually I see some pretty decent performances. I remember some plays, but yet overall they give up 37 points to the Houston Texans. So I want to get your thoughts on that. I tweeted something last night, and a lot of people actually talked about this and jumped on it, and I always find this interesting, especially in Jacksonville and in sports, and I've had a lot of conversations over the years as the Jags keep losing and losing and losing. And what I basically tweeted was, if players in this social media world, they're on their phones, they're going to see it. The fans are going to go at them. They're going to be like, everybody will be disappointed, whether it's a win or a loss in a loss, they're all going to be disappointed. It doesn't matter what stage of it is. Like Packers fans are probably hammering Packers players today, right, if they went on. I do think in this town, because it has a small town feel, and the Jags are the thing, that it feels a little different here. And you have got to be mentally strong as a player in a building and everything else to not let the noise come get you. Because I bet there are a lot of players saying today, hey, man, we're 0-1. Like, we're in second place in the AFC South. Like, we're 0-1. I mean, this is just the start. We knew there'd be some, trials and tribulations along the way. Like, we knew that. I mean, we're not dumb to that. We'll get better. But I really feel in Jacksonville, for us, the media, for people, the fans, for people in that building, that's 16 losses in a row, man. Yeah. That's 16 losses in a row. They have not won in a year. They have not won a football game outside of Dallas in the preseason, which didn't count. I mean, that is a lot of L's in a row on top of a lot of L's for a lot of years, minus 2017, and I am not one to dismiss 2017. But the reality is the reality. And so I just feel like that is a weird thing in Jacksonville to keep an eye on because – and it's going to be – Trevor's going to have to shoulder a lot of this. I thought he was brilliant in the postgame yesterday. He took all the blame. And to watch that young man navigate through some of this is really going to be fun to watch. But he especially, him and Urban, have to be the face of that and be like, listen, we understand it. We get it. Urban tried to do that early on, right? The 904 thing and the fans and everything. Like, I think he understands it, but does he really understand it? And when you start losing and Mondays and Sundays and they're emotional, do you really understand it? I think it's a hard thing for players to fully understand and appreciate what this fan base has gone through and how bad it's been around here. And unfortunately, they're going to shoulder the load of years and years, 16 losses in a row. They have to wear it as well. They unfortunately signed up for it when they signed up for the Jags organization, and it'll be that's an interesting dynamic. And watch players how they handle that. Some players in years past didn't do a good job. Remember Allen Robinson and those kind of things with the fans. Keep an eye on that. But that is a real thing in my mind in this town.
No, it's definitely a real thing, and it's crazy how we go from an entire off season. That was built on hope and change and all this stuff. And Trevor's got the twinkle in his eye and I was guilty of, like anybody was, right? And I think expectations for this team, I don't think they were outrageous. I don't think they were wished upon. I mean, I think a lot of people have this team maybe winning, 6 or 7 games was what I think the overall synopsis was. I think I had them winning 6 games. When the schedule came out, and I remember how we broke it down, like we all thought it was a gift because the first, 4 teams, well, really the Houston game and the Bengals and also maybe the Broncos, it's like, wow, these are winnable games. Like this is a good schedule to have when you're a rebuilding team. And you got this sense that the NFL gave the Jaguars an absolute gift by giving them the Houston Texans, who, on paper, were nothing to shake a stick at. And even to the point where Vegas, I thought, you thought, the fan base thought, I think a lot of players in the locker room thought that they could go to Houston and get the job done. So immediately we go from a hopeful season, a lot of hype, Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer, and we go into week number 1, and it's like, oh, we're going to win this game. How many 1-15 teams the following year can go into the first game of the season and say, oh, yeah, this is our game?
Yeah.
Not too many. But that was the position that the NFL put the Jaguars in. And we all bought in. And then what happens on Sunday? It was more of the same. And all of a sudden by the start of the second quarter, it was like all hope is lost again. So it's one thing if you're losing competitive games. And it's one thing if it's coming down to the wire and, oh, man, Houston got lucky. You know, there's a couple players here or there you wish you could have back. They got lucky. But that's not the conversation that we're having right now. The conversation that we're having is this wasn't really competitive. This wasn't really even fun to watch. And to me, that's the most disappointing part of this whole thing, is that you go from the hope. You go from getting the Houston Texans week 1, who we thought everyone, we thought they were going to beat, and we leave that game thinking, well, if they can't compete with the Texans, who can they compete with?
Mm-hmm. And the only reason we think they will compete with some is because that's the way the NFL works. But
yeah, that's the way it's set up.
Yeah, but good luck predicting that. Like, if you want me to now predict that you're going to beat the Denver Broncos, hell no, man. No way. I mean, there's nothing you showed me that I feel like that can happen. You're going to have to prove it to me. And I've been like this with the Jags several times over my 14 years here. It's like, all right, you're going to have to show me that now. I've tried to defend you. I've tried to be, give you the benefit of the doubt many a times. But you're going to have to show it to me now. And I think the Jags instantaneously in week 2 are in that situation. You're going to have to show it to us for us to believe that you can win a game and pick you to win a game and all that stuff. But keep an eye on it, because how this team handles that is important to turning it around. You have to be the players in that group that says, don't worry, we got you, fans. We're going to turn around. I long will say this, okay? Yeah. And anybody who's heard me have this conversation in the past, I equate it, because I grew up in New England, and I equate it to the Red Sox. Those teams had to wear 86 years of not being able to get it done. It didn't matter that you weren't born for 70 of them, right? Like, you had to wear it. The Cubs fans, the Cubs players, they had to. But when you can understand that and understand the disappointment and kind of be like, we're going to be the ones to turn that around. And I don't know if that's an inner conversation, but it beats being like, what's up with this fan base? They're not even on our side. Well, I don't think that's a wrong way to attack it for the players. Well, they are on your side. That's why there was all this hope this offseason. They want it so bad, yet you just haven't given it to us over the years. Not just this team, but so many teams that have come before it. And speaking of proving it, I didn't get to this yet, but I'm going to do it next, or coming up at 5, I'll do it. The offensive line is now going to prove it to me, because I believe I've defended this offensive line quite a bit. And I didn't like what I saw yesterday. Even if the stats weren't glaringly bad, I didn't like what I saw. So more to come from Sneakers in Jax Beach. It's Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. I'm sorry if you're a Knowles fan and a Jags fan. That's all I got to say leading into the next segment. We'll be right back.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He finds the promised land. Touchdown, FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
Outside the numbers on the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. It's a touchdown, Florida State. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Knowles win. Knowles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long, right here on your home for Florida State football.
Sponsored by Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours. Served in minutes.
Massive increases in online ordering since the pandemic have sent demand for delivery truck drivers through the roof. And with that being said, the increased competition for those willing to be long-haul truckers has led to pay for drivers to be at an all-time high. Truck drivers are the glue that holds supply chains together, and no container, straight truck, or trailer moves without, at some point, a truck driver. So that means that right now there are high-paying job opportunities for people that are willing to get their Class A commercial driver's license, and J-Tech can help. J-Tech Institute's 4 or 8 week commercial truck driving and CDL program is helping students acquire the skills necessary to prepare for their CDL examination and to launch successful careers as commercial truck drivers. To learn more about J-Tech, visit jtech.org or call them at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. That's 904-483-9460 or visit jtech.org.
Happy football season. What do you say we get a pint of Guinness and some shepherd's pie? MJ here, one of the Culhane sisters, serving you at 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and Southside. Plenty of TVs to watch your favorite Georgia Bulldogs and all NFL games. Try our very own 5 Sister Spirit vodka, locally distilled in Jax. Best fish and chips, dinglefish pie, Reuben's, weekend brunch and more. Visit Culhane'sIrishPub.com. Here, it's happy hour every hour. Brilliant.
Temperatures keep climbing, and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Find just what you're looking for at Arlington Toyota. With over 700 new Toyotas available, Arlington has the model you want, with the features you want, at the price you want. And with every new Toyota purchase, you get Arlington's worry-free 30-day exchange policy and a lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited time and unlimited miles. Shop arlingtontoyota.com or in person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard.
What's stopping you from getting the original Peloton bike?
I need flexibility with my workouts.
Choose from thousands of classes available 24/7.
It's hard for me to stay motivated.
Programs, artist series, and badges keep you reaching new goals.
45-minute bike boot camp, 30-minute hit ride.
My 45-minute hip-hop ride. You get all that? For how much?
The original Peloton bike is now at its best price ever. Get game-changing cardio at a new game-changing price. The original Peloton bike, now $400 less. Learn more at onepeloton.com.
What can give you a competitive edge in today's red-hot housing market? Rocket can. That's because Rocket Mortgage can give you a verified approval. It could help your offer stand out. Rocket Technology provides a rock-solid verification of your income, assets, and credit, giving sellers greater confidence in you. Go to rocketmortgage.com or call us today at 8338-ROCKET.
A verified approval is based on an underwriter's analysis of your individual financial information, appraisal, and title report. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
So in life, throws you uh-ohs. Just say, better get Mako.
Head to Mako.com to book your appointment today.
So in life, throws you uh-ohs. Just say, better get Mako.
And head to Mako.com for an online estimate.
The NFL is on. Key, Jay, and now Max Kellerman.
Here's a guy that you drafted in the first round that you think could potentially be the successor to Aaron Rodgers in the future, but could he at least be a damn backup?
Keyshawn, J-Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
So disappointing and so heartbreaking when you see, things that show up that are uncharacteristic of how we train and what we do. We have to learn how to overcome that. And I don't care who you play. It does not matter. It didn't matter the first week. It sure as crap didn't matter last week. We have to go out there and play, coach, and execute to how we train. And if we do that, then once again, I don't give a crap who we play. It won't matter because I believe in what these kids, who they are, what they're about.
Wow. That is Mike Norvell and Florida State. I mean, holy cats. I'm going to talk about it in just a moment. I want to pay something off that I teased on social media. Remember, Austin, we promised, we asked the Jags for two things 3 weeks ago.
Okay. I don't remember.
Two things when I was in New Orleans. Do you remember?
I have no idea. No.
We said, national TV game, you get a chance to shape the narrative tonight against the Saints.
Yeah.
They stunk it up.
Yeah.
Again on national TV. And we said, the other opportunity is Houston. You can't lose that game. I remember saying countless times over the last few weeks, I don't want to come to work on Monday if they lose that game. Well, in all honesty, I'm glad to be here with you. But
well, you didn't really come to work. You actually went to a bar. So so it's all good.
To a bar.
Yeah. Didn't come to work, but it's all good.
I did not come to work.
Yes.
After the Jags lost to Houston, I went to a bar.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
I feel like that should be a shirt. Can we start that? Like, seriously. this Brent buying a beer thing.
Yeah.
It might be an every day of the week.
It's going to be quite the tab going on there for sure.
You know, I always think of, the old like TV guy, the old TV thing, like way back in the day. I think it's maybe it's newspaper, radio guy even.
Okay.
Is when the team like stinks, you're going to go like live on the billboard until they win.
Oh, yeah. I got you. Yep, yeah, it's like the old, like, I think, like, radio hosts did that back in the day and stuff.
Yeah, you can do something crazy, right?
Sure, yep.
You'd be like, well, I won't come down until they win. My gosh, can you imagine if we've been that guy? But I think about that all the time. I'm like, what could I do until the Jags win? Now they've lost 16 in a row.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, maybe I like to have a beverage now and again. Maybe I just won't have a beer, and then I'll be losing LBs.
Now you're talking.
Right? It's kind of beneficial. Like, you don't.
Yeah, I feel like you could have gone, maybe like a beard or something like that.
I thought about that today. Like, I shaved today, and I was kind of like, I don't really need to shave today.
Yeah.
I just shaved yesterday. I can let this. It's okay. So I was like, all right, I'm going to shave. And I said, I wonder if I should just not shave until the Jags win and see what we get. See if I can get a Lovie Smith.
Now we're talking.
But
nice
I should have done that like last year.
Yeah.
So, anyway, if anybody has any suggestions on what I can do until the Jags win again.
Well, and you know what? And actually, I do remember that conversation a little bit. And, I mean, it's all in good fun that we're bringing it up. But there are some good points and some serious notes to that conversation as well. Because, I think we both agree that when they hired Urban Meyer, it was the ultimate boomer bust type of hire. Because he came, he's polarizing. There's people out there, for whatever reason, that aren't the biggest Urban Meyer fans, that want to see this dude fail, that want to see this team fail. And, there's the Jaguars fan base that's excited because, all right, this is out-of-the-box thinking. This is something exciting, and it's something new. And, you hear the national writers, and then you see this stuff online on social media, the behind-the-scenes thing with Urban Meyer, and once again, they want to see him fail. They want to see him fail. Well, when you had a performance like that, and I'm not saying Urban Meyer cares about this because he really shouldn't. We shouldn't really care about it to the full extent, but, we see it, so it affects us. But when you lose that game like you did against Houston, that feeds into the fire. That gives the national people more ammunition to fire back and say, ha, I told you. Now look what Urban Meyer is doing. It's a nightmare in Jacksonville. Is it a nightmare? Not yet. It's one game. Let's see where it goes. But that's going to be the narrative now because when you're Urban Meyer, you don't have that long of a leeway. It's just fact.
Well, listen, I think, and you saw that article, right, La Canfora. CBS, by the way, all of a sudden getting a little clickbaity in the last month on the Urban Meyer front.
Yeah.
And that's got my attention. I think this is like some NFL guys that don't have connections with Urban. It's like, well, I'm not going to ever be close to Urban, so let's just hammer Urban. It's good for business. I feel like it's a little bit of that because I don't sense – listen, we have plenty of connections inside the building. I don't sense some of those things that they're talking about over the last month. Now, it could be one rogue person maybe, but it's not like the prevailing theme is my point. So if you read some of those articles, like, already the Urban tenure is under turmoil and maybe after a loss – if that article came out today, I might believe a little bit more of it.
Yeah.
But the stuff coming out of the weekend, I didn't. So you are right about that. I think people want to see him lose. And but anyway, if you come up with a good thing that I could do within reason, maybe I just won't shower until the Jags.
Well, hey, let's not get crazy now. All right, let's not get too drastic.
Florida State.
Yeah.
I don't even really know what to say about Florida State. I was with the Boat City Brigade at an establishment in Houston. It was unbelievable, man. I mean, I like Mike Norvell. If you've heard me talk about Florida State, I say I think this guy is the right guy. That was just an awful coaching job. I said all last week, man, if Florida State is going to take steps, they have to come out and pound Jacksonville State. Off that game against Notre Dame where there was some hope and good feelings, even with a loss. If you turn in the corner, just run right by Jacksonville State.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. And then they lose on that play? They lose on that play, Austin? Mm-hmm. Like, they don't just line people up on the 15-yard line? They were concerned with 6 seconds to go in a timeout that they might attempt a 57-yard field goal? Well, at least you can't lose the game.
Correct.
At least you can't lose the game if you do that. I mean, Mike Norvell, I'm a fan of yours, man. I mean, attention to detail guy, and you missed the most important detail of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that was ridiculous. I do feel for FSU fans. I don't like when FSU, Florida, Georgia, Miami are all – I don't like when they're this bad. I really don't. I know we have the Knowles on our station. That's not what I'm saying. I don't like when they're this bad because I don't root for any of them.
Mm-hmm.
But they should not be this bad. That was gross, disgusting, and now you wonder where it does turn because until they do it, Florida State, that's who they are, man. They just lost to Jacksonville State on a play that is inexplicable.
Yeah. We talked about this a lot, where the old Florida State, the ones that we've grown accustomed to seeing, where they're not really the cool school anymore, as we put it before, the old Florida State would have went down to would have played Jacksonville State, and it would have went down to the wire. And you would have been asking, well, why are they letting this team hang around? Why? Because it's the old Florida State. You watched how that team played against Notre Dame. I was hyped up. I think people's expectations were growing, and we all thought the same thing. They're going to play Jacksonville State, and it wasn't even going to be close. Not only was it close, but you lost the game. And then you lost the game in the worst possible way, where it comes down to a schematic thing where it's like, just play. I mean, I don't care. Like, if you really trust an FCS quarterback to go to an FCS receiver and get 50 yards and then get out of bounds and then call timeout and kick a field goal at your place to send it overtime, then so be it. But don't give up the home run ball. Don't lose the game and set your team up for failure because you had the wrong defensive call. Don't do that. Well, you did it.
And by the way, how about some IQ and football awareness? Tackle the guy. Tackle him. Who cares if you give up the reception? Tackle him. And then the trailing players on that, I hope they're running gassers all day today because they weren't hustling to the ball at all in a big moment. I mean, that was just a bad look for FSU, and they've had plenty of bad looks over the last 5 years. And now I'm back to they might only win 4 games, 3 games. I don't know. I mean, are they really turning it around in Tallahassee? I think that's a fair question after that performance on Saturday night. The damn Yankees just tied up the game, Casey. Football at 5 coming up.
God, I feel so bad for you guys worrying about playoff contention. I've been over here chilling.
Don't say you guys.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry. My bad. Tampa and Milwaukee just been hanging out.
Hey, don't worry. Chapman's coming into the game. He's bound to blow it. We'll be back. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Football at 5 from Sneakers coming up next.
For the ones going above and beyond. For the ones reaching out, helping out, and lending a hand. For the ones people count on. You can count on Grainger. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Backed by 24/7 customer support and specialists to help with hard-to-find products. Because you've got everyone's back. We've got yours. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's a new approach to healthcare. The Center for Health and Sports Medicine is built on the pillars of health: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional, with primary care sports medicine physicians, mental health counselors, an advanced diagnostics lab for wellness and sports medicine, and 24/7 on-site state-of-the-art fitness facility, all under one roof. What does this mean for you? As a Center for Health and Sports Medicine patient, you'll receive medical care in a collaborative, proactive, goal-oriented manner. In other words, everything they do is centered around you. Learn more at jacksfamilysportsmed.com.
Just be confident. Community First makes smarter banking simple so you can relax, knowing you're managing your money the right way, yours. Visit justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA.
Want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Owen. I'm a cigarette.
Do you like being a cigarette?
No, I don't. Not really into killing thousands of people. Sorry, no filter.
Right.
What's your sign?
Pisces?
I'm a Cancer. Cigarette joke. But seriously, I do cause cancer. And heart disease. And strokes. I could go on forever. Unlike the people who smoke me.
The average smoker lives 10 years less than non-smokers. Quit today. Find out how at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Can you picture a better way to spend a beautiful fall day supporting a great cause than on the world-renowned stadium course at TPC Sawgrass? Ronald McDonald House Jacksonville will host its annual Golf Classic event 9:30 a.m. Monday, October 11 at TPC Sawgrass. Experience an unforgettable afternoon of golf while supporting critically ill children and their families. For details and to register your foursome, visit www.rmhcjacksonville.org.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Did you know that according to the Department of Energy, heating and cooling account for almost half of the home's energy use and expense? As the heat of the summer drags on, stop wondering if you have an insulation problem and call us for a free evaluation. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation. We started our insulation business because we wanted to help people save money on those energy bills, reduce their carbon footprint, and live a healthier life.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282. That's 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Koala Insulation. Clean, knowledgeable, and trusted.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
I got to look at the way that the eye test, if you want to use that term for the NFL, looked for some of the bad teams. I mean, the amount of penalties that the Jaguars had in their game was absolutely inexcusable for basic things like, I don't know, getting people in and out of the huddle. And don't worry, college football fans, plenty to be shameful there too. Can we talk about Ohio State's run defense for the second straight week getting gashed? This is the Monday tradition, Walk of Shame. You can tweet me. It feels better when you get it off your chest. At Jason Fitz, we'll get through this shame together. With the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Jason Fitz.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Tonight on Monday Night Football, Raiders-Ravens, 8:15 Eastern, ABC, ESPN TV, ESPN2, and the ESPN app. Following season-ending injuries to 3 running backs in a 12-day span, more will be on the plate of Baltimore quarterback Lamar Jackson. The Ravens, though, also have confidence in running back Tyson Williams, who was on the practice squad last year, explains Monday Night Football analyst Louis Riddick.
This guy's going to shock some people because he's 6 foot, 225 pounds. He's fast, shifty, catches the ball well, smart, will block. But this kid, number 34, watch him because he's going to get a ton of opportunities. A ton.
Louis Riddick on Keyshawn, J-Will, and Max. From ESPN's Adam Schefter. Washington quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks with a hip injury. He'll land on injured reserve, meaning he's out at least 3 weeks. Taylor Heineke starts in his place. Kyle Allen's the backup. 49ers running back Raheem Mostert expected to miss 8 weeks with chipped cartilage in his knee. Jets left tackle Mekhi Becton expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a knee injury. Broncos receiver Jerry Jeudy, high ankle sprain, expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Cisco's really coming on. You know, he's the guy that we were told when we drafted him, we really thought highly of him, we still do, is that he had that ACL, so he still, was a little bit on my pitch count during training camp. Wingard was the most consistent throughout. Missed a tackle, had a chance to make a couple plays. He just, we're not throwing anybody under the bus yet, but Cisco's a guy that we believe has a great future. And he played pretty well when he was in there.
Well, that is Urban Meyer talking about Andre Cisco, his safety position, the one that got fan base up in arms, right? Andrew Wingard playing back there and starting. Brent Martineau here live at Sneakers, Jax Beach. We have Jihad Ward joining us on Jags Report Live, 7 o'clock tonight on Fox 30. Hope you can come down and check out the show, meet Jihad Ward, and we'll have some fun, even though the Jags lose the season opener to the Houston Texans 37-21. Austin Lane bringing in Action Sports Shack Studios. Andrew Wingard starting. I know there was the one play that he looked like he was in chase mode. I thought it was a terrific play by Tyrod Taylor and the tight end with a one-handed catch. Did Wingard play like eye-poppingly poor in your mind or what?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of missed tackles, that was noticeable. That one play with Tyrod Taylor with that beautiful pass, that was noticeable. Yeah, I mean, I feel like not a lot of players played well on that defense, but he did stick out as a guy who just didn't play up to his expectations from that team.
It always fascinates me with the fan base sometimes is right, okay? And whether it's us wrong or the team, more importantly, it's the team. It's like the team really locks in on something. It's like, well, they're wrong. How could they be that wrong? Like how Andrew Wingard, nobody thinks is like should be starting for the Jags at safety. A lot of people don't think he should be on the team. Now that might be a little too much, but because he's a very good special teams player, is his, is what people say. So how do they not see what I guess the rest of us see? Like Andre Cisco not starting, but he's like, bam, 2 plays later or a half later, he's in. I mean, why didn't Andre Cisco just play, man? Why are we overthinking this?
Well, so Urban alluded to being on the pitch count. You take that for what you want. But, when we tried to find a reason why Wingard was starting over Cisco, when we literally tried to bang down every single door and get an answer, I brought up the fact that, well, maybe in terms of this complicated defense, in terms of all the checks and balances and all the calls, that Cisco wasn't ready for that to be on his plate, which, okay, I can come around with because I played in a defense like this, and it can be a lot, especially for a rookie. But at the same time, if that's the excuse that you want to go with, then why didn't you keep Jared Wilson, who has ample experience in the NFL, who's shown that he can play in a multitude of defenses, and has been, for lack of a better word, pretty dependable in the secondary the past couple of years? Why you didn't go in that direction then, if that was the case? Because, and once again, maybe I didn't go enough practices, maybe I didn't see enough training camp where Wingard was just balling out day in and day out. But from what I saw in the preseason, and obviously from what I saw game number 1 against the Houston Texans, I don't think he outplayed Jared Wilson by any means. I think Jared Wilson's the better safety. Now, I get it. Special teams comes into play, and you need your special teams guys, then so be it. But you mean to tell me that you can't find another avenue where you can't have Jared Wilson and Andrew Wingard on the same team? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I agree. Around here, though, what we really want to know, is it time to hit the panic button already after one game in Jacksonville?
But George...
Sound the alarm! Now is the time to panic.
To the panic room! And I'm going to be like, who's the guy that rode through town when the British come? Paul Revere?
The local hero, like Paul Revere.
Ah, the British are coming!
So I'm going to be like on my motorcycle holding a panic button saying, hey, it's... And I'm going to be going up and down the Matthews, up and down the Dames Point. You name the bridge, I'm there. And I will be hitting the panic button nonstop like Paul Revere did. Because I'm panicking. To the Houston Texans of all teams.
How you doing?
Not good. Not good at all. No.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Oh no! We suck again!
Hey, can we just go home?
I mean,
can we just go
Casey?
home?
I mean, Casey's killing this radio thing, isn't he?
I feel like we should just leave. I mean, show over. Enough said. That was beautiful.
That was fantastic. Nice job, Casey, once again. Opening the show, panic alarm as well. All this stuff brought up by himself. Like, didn't even ask him to do it.
Well, and he's so humble about it. Yeah, I might have a couple of things. Oh, no, dude. You bring a couple bangers to the show today. A couple bangers.
That
Nicely
takes
done.
a lot of extra work and some thinking. I like it. I appreciate it. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I would buy you a beer if you were here, Casey. That is for sure. We are live at Sneakers here at Jack's Beach. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey as well here on a Monday. Jags lose 37-21. All right, here's what I'm panicking about. I've defended this offensive line a lot. I got to go do a TV hit in a moment, but
classic Brent. He's trying to just get out, man. Yeah, go ahead and leave. You're good.
Well, you got defense too. I want you to talk about, so I'm going to hand you off on that. But really, I got to say this: I've defended these guys a bunch. That was not good yesterday. I think they're good in the run blocking game. I think the 1 sack out of 51, don't get caught up in that. That was worse than that. You know, I thought Trevor had to help them a lot. I thought he ran away from some things. And then the alignment and holding penalties are just too much. You're supposed to be helping this kid out. And they didn't. I can't sit here and tell you just because they gave up 1 sack and 51 attempts that, hey, I'm high on the offensive line. No, I don't think that's the way it was. They were lucky he didn't get in the grass a bunch more times. But they were leaky again, man. And I've been this huge defender of the offensive line. It's better than you think. Everybody hates their offensive line. Every fan base. It's better. It's better. This is good. Continuity. Man, maybe I'm dead wrong, and that would be another thing, by the way, the Jags are dead wrong about, too, because this is multiple regimes now that have said, I like my offensive line. I like this offensive line. I like this offensive line coach. How can everybody be wrong?
Yeah. You know, the fact that they retained their offensive line coach showed that they had good faith of what they had as a unit. And, yeah, I mean, it was porous. Obviously, we saw that. But also the drive-killing penalties. The penalties when, you know, I'm reminded of, I think it was like a James Robinson 20-yard gain, but of course, you know, it was James Robinson. We've seen that all the time. And you check that out, and all of a sudden, it's coming back. It's coming back because of an offensive holding call. Or, you know, a Carlos Hyde long run coming back because of a holding call. Those are drive killers. Those are momentum killers, and they're drive killers. And you're talking about a team that was literally clinging for life of any little minuscule nugget that they could get their mouth around to say, hey, let's get some kind of momentum going and let's get back in this game. And any little nugget that you had, it went away because of penalties. So, yeah, I mean, I think only 1 sack or 2 sacks. I think it was only 1 sack actually yesterday was given up. But overall, not a good showing. You know, I mean, it wasn't a really good showing for really any unit. At that, you know, Brent mentioned the defense a little bit, and you know, I'll wait till he gets back to really dive into everything. But I sat here on this show on Friday and said I would be extremely surprised if the Houston Texans rushed for over 100 yards because I know how Joe Cullen operates. Now, if you take away a Tyrod Taylor 30-yard gain off one play, then you might have something there. But, you know, he got his yards because there wasn't any, you know, rush lane discipline. And I'll be honest, I feel like I've said the word rush lane discipline after a game now for the past, 2.5 years, every Monday. I feel like I've said that a lot, and we saw more of the same with Tyrod Taylor. Now, I understand Tyrod Taylor is an athlete in his own right, but I'll be honest with you. When I hear the name Tyrod Taylor, Mike Vick-esque, Kyler Murray-esque does not come to mind. Yeah, the guy's got wheels. He's an athlete. Okay, I get all that stuff. But, like, going into that game, you shouldn't have to game plan, all right, well, we got to keep Tyrod Taylor in the lane because you can take off at it. No, right? And you saw that happen a little bit. And when we talk about, you know, what the Jaguars were going to do, I mean, I broke this down time after time after time. And to me, it was going to be the ultimate litmus test of if this secondary can hold up against these receivers in man coverage. Now, yeah, obviously, pass rush and coverage, it works hand in hand, right? It's complementary football. If you have a good pass rush, that helps your coverage. You have good coverage, that helps your pass rush. You didn't really see a lot of any of that. Now, Josh Allen had a great play starting the game off. I'm like, all right, Josh Allen's going to have 20 sacks this season. This defense is looking all right. All aboard. Let's go. Get on the hype train. Well, then it quickly went away from that. And, you know, I'm not ready to sit here and brag about just how good the Texans' offensive play calls were and just how they had the Jaguars' number, even though they did. But, like, did the Texans do anything that we haven't seen before? Did the Texans do anything that guys like, you know, C.J. Henderson, Wingard, that secondary in general, hasn't seen before, Rashawn Jenkins haven't seen before? No. It was a whole lot of crossing patterns. That's all it is. And when you have crossing patterns, that's where communication comes into play. Hey, he's crossing. I got him. Hey, he's crossing. You got him. All right? Now, yeah, when live bullets are flying, it can be a hard assignment to ask somebody to do. But you're in the NFL. You're first and second round picks. You got to make those plays more time than not. And then they didn't. And that was a little, that was a little baffling to me. And when we talk about, we saw a little bit of the red flags every once in a while in the preseason with this defense, right? They were great in the run, but as far as the pass game was concerned, yes, they did give up some stuff. And yes, Tyson Campbell had another rough game. Yes, Tyson Campbell eventually has to learn to get his head on a swivel and play man coverage better. You have to. Now, do I give him the benefit of the doubt because he's a rookie? Maybe, but how many times are we going to have this conversation in the preseason, now carrying on to the regular season? And if it's going to be an issue, then you have to go in a different direction, all right? It's as simple as that. With K'Lavon Chaisson, I saw a lot of negative towards his part, and you know what? Probably warranted. This was a guy last year who had trouble getting pressures, comes into this game, has Tyrod Taylor dead to rights, and Tyrod Taylor, in the most Michael Vick-esque fashion ever, shakes K'Lavon Chaisson, and it's a long game. It's an explosive play to the point where if Tyrod Taylor, heaven forbid, makes the NFL top 100, that's going to be the leading play. It's going to be K'Lavon Chaisson missing the sack, Tyrod Taylor bending over, somehow not getting sacked, and then making that 40-something yard gain. That's what's going to happen. It's just, I can't stress this enough. And to answer the question, because I think, Casey, you brought up a great question in terms of the panic button. Am I hitting the panic button? Yeah. Yeah, I'm hitting the panic button. All right? I think there's a lot that this team has to get done in a week. I think when you have guys on the Houston Texans, now, Brandon Cooks is a great player in his own right, fine. But when I have to Google who their tight end is for Houston, because I've never heard of Pharaoh Brown, and when I Google Pharaoh Brown, because I'm thinking about fantasy, right? And when I Google Pharaoh Brown, and his Wikipedia page comes up with a celebrity softball game for his picture and not a football picture, that's all you should need to know about Pharaoh Brown. But 4 catches, 67 yards, burn the middle of the field, making one-handed catches. That's what you're playing against. You're playing against guys who have celebrity softball games as their Wikipedia pages for their pictures. That's what you're playing against. Now, when Denver comes to town, a guy by the name of Noah Fant, pretty good tight end. Jerry Jeudy might be banged up. Cortland Sutton's pretty good. They have players. Hamler, or is it Hamler?
KJ
Hamler, pretty good receiver. What I'm trying to say is it's only going to get more difficult from here. Okay? And no, there's no magic call that you can have and say, okay, well, maybe we play some more zone coverage. If you want to change who you are and your identity and your defense, then play more zone coverage. But if you want to play man, you're going to have to teach your guys how to play man and how to handle those crossing routes and how to get your head around and how to knock down, long fly balls when it's third down. Those things have to get addressed, because if they don't, it is going to get so much worse than it's going to get better. All of a sudden, you're not playing against guys who have celebrity softball games as their Wikipedia page pictures. Now you're playing against guys who are, some of them are all pros. Some of them are Pro Bowlers. You got to get ready.
Yeah, that's a big part of it for the Jags. I mean, this is just not a good look based on all the things you just said. Celebrity softball in the profile is a bad thing.
And I'm not joking either. Like, go ahead and Google them and check them out.
Yeah,
okay.
Just, either journeyman, washed-up guys, has-been in terms of being elite players, or that, right? And that's what that roster's filled with. I mean, it's really unacceptable, not only to lose, but the way they looked against the Houston Texans. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 here on a Monday. It's not a great one for the Jacksonville Jaguars, for the Florida State Seminoles. Hey, at least the Gators won. They play Alabama this week. Oh, boy. We'll see how that goes.
Well, Saban is absolutely irate at his team.
Yes.
So you know what's going to happen now.
We'll talk college football a little bit more as the week goes along, but wow, I mean, it's wide open outside of potentially Alabama, maybe Georgia, but even Georgia feels like it's wide open based on what their offense can do against really good competition. Let's bring in Captain Rick Riles right now for the Sportsman Fishing Report on ESPN 690. Hope you had a good weekend, man.
I had a better weekend than anybody wearing a Jaguars uniform, or a Jaguars T-shirt or a Jaguars cap or anything to do with that debacle. Let me tell you, there was nothing debacle-wise when it came to fishing this weekend. It was all good. Just talked to Captain David Voorhees, said the redfish bite was exceptional this weekend and today. Said we had an unusually low tide this morning, and it caused the redfish to really turn it on when that tide started coming in. We got something weird happening in the river. I don't know what it is, but downtown we are suddenly seeing a whole bunch of snook. Now, we don't see a whole lot of snook in northeast Florida, but I talked to a guy who broke off several but said he hooked a minimum of 15 snook on Saturday, landed a handful of them, but said he saw more than he has ever seen, and that was in downtown Jacksonville. Offshore's been all bottom fishing. The trigger fishing Vermilion are doing fine. I think our weather's probably going to be okay for the next couple of days for the guys to get out. But there's one thing you can count on. We'll be back tomorrow to check on it again with another fishing report brought to you by Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing.
Captain Rick, sounds like the fishing is lined up better than the Jaguars' offense.
Indeed.
All right. Thanks, man. Have a good night. That's Captain Rick Riles, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report each and every day. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 6.
Hey, Brent, be honest here. This whole snook situation, is this some kind of Saints fans related or something? Did they do something?
Yeah, maybe they did.
Did they do something?
Maybe they
do we
did.
need to investigate this? Do we send Ben Becker into this thing?
Yeah, send Ben.
I'm just saying.
Send Ben to find the snook.
Never had a snook problem as far as I've been here. You know, I mean, when I moved here, people were telling me, fishermen, hey, the snook, not a big deal. And I've always believed that. And all of a sudden, I'm just saying, when the Saints have their first home game in Jacksonville, now there's a snook problem. Just saying, Brent.
There's a snook problem in Jacksonville. That and a wind problem.
Yeah.
We've got that, too. Brent Mortno at Sneakers here in Jack's Beach. Maybe I should go a little fishing just right across the road here. I can see the ocean from here. It's awesome. 7 o'clock, Jags Report Live. We'll have Jihad Ward on the show coming up on Fox 30. Come on out to the beach. Say hello as we'll try to have some fun after the season opener.
Hey, Brent, I got something for you.
Jags. What you got?
It goes without saying, I've had some pretty good transitions to where we're going next.
Mm-hmm.
There doesn't need to be one. It goes without saying today.
Just already at the bar.
Just play it.
The good vibes.
Taste the islands and every drop of Vida de Luis tequila. 100% blue agave from Tequila, Mexico. Good vibes.
It's a celebration.
VitaDeLuis.com. Not a bad place to be on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. You might want to look it up. Plan accordingly. Vida de Luis Tequila. The only locally owned tequila right here in Jack's Beach, by the way. Shipped all the way from Tequila, Mexico. VitaDeLuis.com. 3 different flavors: Añejo, Reposado, Blanco, depending your mood. VitaDeLuis.com.
And please drink in moderation.
Monday, please do.
Yeah.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah.
My goodness. Hey, how about the cat story?
Oh.
I was thinking of you on the cat story. I was like, all right, I hope I don't see Austin on Twitter here because I wonder what he's going to say.
I wouldn't have said anything. Actions speak louder than words. That thing was hanging. I would have moved seats. And I would have kept watching the game.
That was wild, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was insane. I mean, is it almost like the chef's kiss or the fact that they caught it with like an American flag as well? Did you see that?
Yeah,
I mean,
9/11.
Yeah.
The cat story feels like it was the biggest story of the weekend.
Well, and be honest, was that cat staged?
I don't think so.
How did it get up there?
I know. That's a good call.
What a dumb animal, though, right? I mean, how do you find yourself above that wire just hanging out?
Yeah, I have no idea, man. I don't know how that happened. We've seen cats loose on fields before, but never up like that.
Yeah.
And did you see the headline? Like, I forget what it exactly read, but the ESPN bottom line on the cat was terrific.
Well, and then did you see in Washington in the stands that a pipe burst like in the crowd. So like on top, there was like water everywhere coming down.
Oh, I did
on the
see
fans.
that.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, please don't happen in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
please don't.
Imagine the narrative there.
Hey, it sounds like we got some breaking news, and I think it might be USC related.
It is USC related. Clay Helton. Apparently the hot seat was a little too hot. He has been let go.
Dang.
I mean, that is fast.
Wow.
2 weeks. Yikes.
What did they I didn't even catch what they did this week. Oh, that was what game was that? Who'd they play this week? You remember?
It was not, I believe it. Yeah, it was Stanford, and they got.
Oh yeah, Stanford.
Yeah, because that's what I knew.
42-28.
Well, the 42-28. Remember, their kicker got ejected on the first play of the game.
Yes.
Wow.
Has anyone ever been fired after starting 1-1? He wasn't even 0-2.
Yeah, that surprises me too a little bit. I thought they might make a little bit of run this year in the Pac-12, but obviously they didn't feel that way.
Did something happen? Like, is there some sort of investigation?
Let's talk more about it, because I think
this
is. We're gonna take a break, but that's bad management. That's bad leadership in the whole university and athletic department, in my opinion. I'll tell you why. Coming up, Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. We're live at Sneakers.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly clear skies tonight, dropping into the low 70s. Really quite nice. Tomorrow will be partly sunny, a widely scattered afternoon shower or thunderstorm, but many spots will stay dry again with highs in the mid to upper 80s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Now you can buy like a dealer buys. Save thousands on thousands of diamonds for a limited time at Beard's Diamonds.
When you think about Jacksonville, you think about a city that is surrounded by water. And being by water afforded Jacksonville to have one of the largest container ports in the entire country. And another fun fact, that RV sales are at an all-time high right now. But what does this all mean? What am I getting at? It means that there's high-paying jobs available for those that know the ins and outs of the marine side and of the land side of recreational vehicles. And this is where J-Tech comes into play. J-Tech offers a program where you can learn about the diagnostic procedures and effective repair methods of a variety of recreational vehicles, including motorhomes and RVs, power boats, jet skis, diesel and gasoline, outboard and inboards, and much more. And they also help prepare students to take the Yamaha certification exam, which is required in the Marine Maintenance Certification Program. To learn more about J-Tech, visit jtech.org or call them at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. That's 904-483-9460 or visit jtech.org.
Who's drinking? Seriously, if you're driving, you shouldn't be doing it right now. But you can turn it up during Oktoberfest at Kingmaker Brewing in Riverside, September 23rd through the 26th and the 30th to October 3rd. Sponsored by 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. If you like good food, great beer, and amazing local businesses, the second annual Oktoberfest at Kingmaker brings it all together. Grab early bird tickets and get a gorgeous beer stein and happy hour pricing all day. Beer, food, fun, Oktoberfest. Brought to you by your hometown credit union, 1-to-1 Financial.
Koala Insulation.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Did you know that according to the Department of Energy, heating and cooling account for almost half of the home's energy use and expense? As the heat of the summer drags on, stop wondering if you have an insulation problem and call us for a free evaluation. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation. We started our insulation business because we wanted to help people save money on those energy bills, reduce their carbon footprint, and live a healthier life.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282. That's 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Koala Insulation. Clean, knowledgeable, and trusted.
Rich Eisen from Westwood One here with a preview of Monday Night Football. We get the series started with a great AFC matchup as Lamar Jackson and the Ravens travel to Las Vegas to take on Derek Carr and the Raiders. Baltimore head coach John Harbaugh says the season opener always carries unique challenges.
You don't really know yourself until you play, and you don't know your opponent because you haven't seen them on tape. It's one thing to watch them from last year, but they're different. You know, you have a lot more information in game two, and it builds steadily throughout the season. So, the unknown is the biggest thing.
The Raiders will finally get to show off their new home stadium to fans, and Coach John Gruden is hoping some new weapons on offense will make for a big opening night. Kevin Harlan and Hall of Famer Kurt Warner will have the call on Monday Night Football.
O'Reilly. It's O Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts, where you can earn double, triple, even up to 5 times O Rewards points on select purchases. Get bonus points on more than 200 items throughout the store, like wiper blades, fuel system cleaners, motor oil, and more. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Something that our team, I could tell in that locker room how bad it hurt them, which is a good thing. I know it's something that they're going to come back and work extremely hard on to go try to get 1-0 for next week. It is early in the season. It is something that when you lose to a North team, you have to bounce back. Like I told them in there, all their dreams are still out there. But we have to do our job and get back to going 1-0 on the week, and we've got some things to clean up from this football game.
I believe that was Clay Helton.
That's correct.
Team from the North is what they call him with Stanford, huh?
Guess so.
He sounded like he had a sense of urgency about winning games.
Bro, the guy just got fired. Come on, man.
Jeez. It's almost like he has to be fired at that news conference.
Man. Oh, I mean,
Here's the thing. Here's my problem with this, okay?
Yeah.
And I don't pay attention to USC like day in, day out. And USC should be way better and all the stuff. Like, I get it. Florida State should not be this bad. Florida should have never been that bad. It seems Texas is ridiculously bad. And they've tried 3 different coaches, I think it is now. So it shouldn't happen. But I don't know how you can be in a leadership position and the AD and make this move and you not get fired. Like, he's been there for a while, and he's been on the hot seat for like 3 years, man.
Yeah.
And if he's been on the hot seat for 3 years, it took you 2 games into 2021 to figure out that this just isn't going to work. Like, there's two things that happen here. Either you're an idiot and don't know how to, see what it takes to be like a good head coach, which means you're bad at hiring people. And maybe the worst thing about bad at hiring people is bad at firing people when you're in that kind of position. Or secondly, some name has popped up now all of a sudden and like, hey, let's clear the path for somebody to come in. Yeah. Outside of that, I almost fault leadership there at USC for 2 games into the season following a loss to do this. As disheartening a loss as it is to Stanford, whatever. That's odd timing.
No, you're not wrong here. And it's almost like in the NFL when you're GM and you draft a quarterback, you're always kind of tied to that quarterback. Well, an AD is always going to be tied to the head coach. And it doesn't say much about your acumen, if you will, if you fire a guy in I think it's his second year, but into the second game of the season, he's gone. Like that, yeah, that shows what you are as an AD. So I completely agree with you. I don't think it's the best look. I mean, to say that, is there something on the horizon? I mean, there's something on the horizon week 3 of the college football season, and you have a good beat on somebody. Like, I don't know if that's the case either. So, yeah, just an absolute mess, I feel like, in USC right now.
Yeah, real quick thought, too. College football is wide open, right? We're going to talk more about it coming up this week. But, I mean, outside of Alabama, who looks like they make college football boring,
Yeah. But see, Urban Meyer's making it exciting because he's all mad at them right now. I like it. I appreciate it.
You mean Saban?
Oh, I'm sorry, I said Urban Meyer. Yeah, hello. Sorry, getting confused sometimes. Yeah, Nick Saban. Hello. Yeah.
But I mean, it's pretty wide open. I mean, it's weird, right? Ohio State losing. Texas is loses to Arkansas, just gets throttled. I mean, you look at Miami; they were in the top 15 a couple weeks ago. I'm watching the replay of that game. They are lucky to survive App State. Florida's looked okay the first couple of weeks, but now they get Alabama, and if they keep it within 20, people will be happy. That's like where we're at. That's where we're at with Alabama, by the way. I bet Gator fan says keep it within 20, and I'm happy. and by the way, Gators have been in the top for the last 2-3 years. Been in the top 10, top 12 in the country. Mm-hmm. So that's the separation point between Alabama, which is just a nod to Alabama. But Oklahoma, I don't know. So it's pretty wild right now. Oregon does get the big win, maybe breathe some life into the Pac-12 because they looked unimpressive in week 1, but then they go to Columbus and beat Ohio State. So pretty wild right now in college football.
I mean, listen, I understand that, John Bachman and Money Mike Murch are big supporters of the show, but I mean, the way that they beat Iowa State, who I feel like Iowa State had all the hype coming into this college football season. I mean, Casey picked them to win it. Casey, condolences.
Yeah.
I thought Iowa looked pretty good. No, nothing.
Did.
I mean, they look Big Ten good though, right? Like
that's the problem, right?
Well,
it's kind of like our conversation about Wisconsin. Like, are you going to play today's game sooner or later, or can't constantly do this?
But here's the thing. I mean, I feel like Iowa's got the team to beat Ohio State as well because once again, Ohio State's linebacking core. I don't know where they got those guys from. If it was from that high school that made up everything, it might have been Bishop Sycamore, because Ohio State's got some serious issues right now in stopping the run. And while Iowa didn't really showcase the best run game against Iowa State, I feel like Iowa can play a physical brand of football against Ohio State and possibly do pretty well. So. It's still early on right now, but your favorites, Clemson already got beat once. Ohio State got beat, obviously, by Oregon this past week. It's a weird college football season to start things off with, let's just say.
Yeah, it's the big story right now. Southern Cal fires Clay Helton, and 2 games in. Again, my view on this is that's all right. Clay Helton gets fired. He's not the right guy for the job. I just don't know how you can't make that like a year ago or at the end of last season, yet you now know 2 games into this season. Like, to me, you're bad at judging people and judging good football coaches and your program, and that's on you. I think the administration should take just as much blame for not being able to identify. And like I said, sometimes firing is more important than hiring, although both are of the utmost importance. That's a weird story, in my opinion, coming out of USC.
Brent, I want to ask you real quick. And I know what's going to happen. Michigan's going to probably play Purdue and get beat next week or something like that. But, are you buying into Michigan?
No, I won't buy into Michigan until they can win in November.
Okay.
We've seen Michigan go undefeated right all the way up until Ohio State, I think just recently a couple years back.
Yeah.
And no, I can't. There's not a lot I'll buy into on a college football team right now.
Just Alabama?
Serious. Well, yeah. I mean, listen, I like to buy into Georgia, but I mean, do we know enough about their offense?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. So, listen, Florida could really go a long way this week, but they don't even know who their quarterback should be. Doesn't it seem like they're in denial about playing the better guy?
Yeah.
At Florida, I mean, coaches do some odd things sometimes, especially at the collegiate level. I understand, but I mean, Richardson looks so much better if healthy. Like, if you're going to beat Alabama, you ain't winning with Emory Jones.
Mm-hmm.
You have a chance with Anthony Richardson. So, be interesting to see how this all shakes out. Like Ty said this, he texted me the other night. He's like, this would be a great year to have the 12-team playoff and just eliminate Alabama. Give them the national championship and then have a 12-team playoff with everybody else.
for the runner-up prize, yeah. You're not lying, Ty.
Give out 2 awards.
You're not lying, man.
And also, who would be in that 12th spot could be very interesting this year because it feels like you have teams between 5 and 20 that are about all the same.
Oh, I mean, if you're talking the 12th spot, I think you can make a legitimate argument right now that Coastal Carolina could be top 12.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
A team like that.
That's true. One other thought. I thought about this, too. You said Coastal Carolina. Cincinnati's in the top 10. Some of those schools, obviously, are bigger. App State, we've seen them do stuff before. Jacksonville State, what they just did to Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're getting a little bit closer in college football to like we were or have been more recently in the last, 20 years in college basketball, where a lot of those smaller programs, they're sneaky good. They're not just lay down and lose by 50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
there's more of that. You know why, Austin, I think? It's because I think there are more good athletes than ever before.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say, but I was going to go with a little bit different direction. So I think, the old school college football game, like the old SEC way, was you're going to pound the rock, pound the rock, pound the rock. And physicality always won. Like what the Big Ten runs now is what, teams were doing a decade ago. And a decade ago, when teams were pounding the rock, if you had the bigger offensive line, if you had the nastier defensive line, odds are you're going to win that game. Now the way the game of football has transitioned in college, where it's all about the spread and it's all about speed, well, you can find fast guys anywhere. Now, maybe you can't find like the elite 5-star fast guys, but you can still find fast guys. And you can still find fast guys that can beat cornerbacks. So it seems like these FCS schools or these schools that have good wide receivers and a decent quarterback to get them the ball, they got a shot now just because that's the way the game of college football has gone.
Yeah, I agree with you. Hey, let's get South Beach Gary in real quick. Guess what he's going to gloat about?
I can't imagine.
And he should. 17-16 win over the Patriots. South Beach Gary, what's happening?
Hey, guys, it's only 1 week, but the Dolphins and the Rams looking good. My Super Bowl prediction.
Yeah,
well, you can only go by what you can go by.
No,
that's
for
good.
sure.
Good that the Kansas City Chiefs didn't look any good.
but Austin, what about the X-Man making the big play, the forced fumble, the recovery?
No, I saw it.
That's why you pay the man.
No, for sure. Bill Belichick getting ready to bench somebody after that play. I know that for a fact. But no, it was a great play by the X-Man, as you referred to him. I saw that.
Of course, absolutely. And Brent, they didn't challenge the man all day. Everything was 10 yards and shorter. Mac Brown did all that, but didn't really challenge the Dolphins. And when he got into the red zone, they just shut him down.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. South Beach Gary, I was more impressed with this because I was watching that kind of in the airport, and I was more watching on like the game cast. I was more impressed with once they got the turnover, they were able to run the clock out even after New England used the timeouts. Mm-hmm. They were able to get the first down. Because I wondered, would they put the ball into his hands? Can they finish this thing off? To me, that was the most impressive thing about what Miami did, is to finish it off in New England, because they could have lost it a couple of times. And along with Howard, they also got the first down to finish it off for good. So good win for the Miami Dolphins. Thanks, South Beach Gary. Appreciate it. Checking in here on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 6.
And I'm going to say this as well. And I mean, listen, I don't follow the Miami Dolphins with a microscope or anything, but I did watch a lot of that game because I do have Myles Gaskin in fantasy. But the way that they're using Myles Gaskin, obviously in the run game, but also in the receiving game, talk about a quarterback-friendly offense. And I refer to it a lot like what Justin Herbert had last year as a rookie. When you had Austin Eckler healthy, and he was kind of like that dual threat, whether he's going to run the ball or throw the ball, that takes a lot of pressure off the quarterback position. And I thought that's what Miami did a great job of against New England. New England, a great defense in their own right, but they did a great job of incorporating the short passes, getting Tua some confidence. And, yeah, he had a mistake, didn't have his best game, but he did okay for the fact they actually won the game. And I thought it was a great job by the Dolphins.
Yeah, it was a really good win by the Miami Dolphins, no doubt about that. Hey, I want to remind you, a week from today is the Action Sports Shacks Dream 18 Golf Tournament. You can still participate. I'll sneak you in there if we need to. Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com, the place to be if you want to register. 1 week from today, really going to be a lot of fun. Presented by Cadillac. Also, thanks to our loyal sponsors, the law offices of Ron Scholes, Jacksonville Giants, Best Bet, Florida Georgia Windows and Doors. Come on out, play some golf for a good cause. Raise money for St. Michael Soldiers and North Florida Junior Golf Foundation. It's not just golf. We have fun. Music from 95.1. Maybe Austin will be there, too. Food from all over the area. I haven't asked you yet. Just about every hole. Metro Diner, Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, Mambo, Smoothie King, Front Porch Kettle Corn, Vita de Louis, CGC Water, Mini Bar, Willie Jules Barbecue, Jack's Craft Brewery. Oof. And we're getting more and more each and every day.
You had me at food all over the area.
Yeah, Casey, you better show up. Only a couple of foursomes left if you want to register at Action Sports Jacks, Dream18.com. Also a silent auction item, so check out my Twitter feed, and we have some really cool items if you want to bid. and can't make it to the golf tournament. We'll be right back. We're live at Sneakers in Jax Beach. Jags Report Live coming up 7 o'clock on Fox 30 with Jihad Ward. We'll be back on ESPN 690. Dang it, the Yankees just won.
Want to look like $1 million but only spend a handful of bucks? Upgrade to Dollar Shave Club with the Ultimate Shave Starter Set for only $5. Get a 6-blade razor, prep scrub, shave butter, and post-shave dew for a noticeably smooth shave. Plus free shipping. Razors can be expensive, so don't spend all that money for a mediocre shave. Dollar Shave Club. It's what dreams are shaved of. After the starter set, razors ship at a regular price. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/gojo. That's dollarshaveclub.com/gojo. Welcome to the club.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Today, I took someone to their first job.
Today, I helped someone get to a medical appointment.
Today, I helped someone see their loved ones.
Today, I took someone to see a concert.
JTA bus operators are professional, trained, courteous, and proud. Become a driver of change. JTA is now hiring bus operators and is offering $10,000 to $15,000 hiring bonuses. On-the-job training provided. CDL training available. To apply, log on to go.jtafla.com/drive or call 904-630-3100. That's 630-3100 to become a driver of change.
The Center for Health and Sports Medicine delivers an individualized 360-degree approach to your health, providing a whole-person approach to primary care and sports medicine. With primary care and sports medicine physicians, mental health counselors, the Sports Performance Lab, and 24/7 on-site state-of-the-art wellness center, all under one roof, they'll work to maximize your health by creating a foundational focus on physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional well-being. The MD VIP program provides even more benefits, like appointment guarantees and after-hour care. Learn more at jacksfamilysportsmed.com.
Hey, it's Mark K from the Mark K Show for Galaxy Builders. And if you haven't had your roof inspected in the last year, you clearly have not been listening to what I've been telling you. Galaxy Builders, that should be your first phone call, because insurance companies are now doing drive-bys. And if they notice even one single shingle, which is tough to say, out of place on your roof, they have a reason to drop you from coverage. Galaxy Builders can inspect your roof and repair any leaks or damaged shingles to keep your insurance provider happy. Go to galaxyfla.com for a free quote. That's galaxyfla.com.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Are you curious about marijuana? Florida A&M University established the Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, also known as MARY, to educate the public about medical marijuana use, as well as the detrimental health and social impacts of unlawful marijuana use on local communities. Find out more at mmeri.famu.edu.
Got a business trip, long weekend, or maybe you just really want to try that new Toyota before you buy it? Then get it all when you rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. With easy online reservations and rental rates as low as $19.95 a day, there's nothing stopping you from hitting the open road in a new 2021 Toyota. So rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Try it before you buy it and reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Let's be honest. I'm in the AC business, and even I don't want to buy a new AC system. And yet, the only thing worse than spending money on a new AC is spending it and then not getting the comfort and performance you paid for. Whether it's not seeing the promised comfort or efficiency due to a sloppy install and bad ductwork, or having a home that still feels sticky from inadequate humidity control, or dealing with bad air quality, allergies, mold, or anything else. Investing in a new system to not get the comfort you paid for is total turd buckets. And that's why Griffin Service offers a 12-month test drive on all Florida-rated AC systems. If you're not thrilled with your increased comfort and efficiency, we'll uninstall the system and refund you 100% of your money. And that's for up to 12 months. Install the system now, and you'll still be covered next summer. It's only fair. So, if you need a new system, buy it from the company that'll guarantee you the performance and comfort you're paying for at
GriffinService.com.
CMC 1250-697.
Koala Insulation. Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Did you know that according to the Department of Energy, heating and cooling account for almost half of the home's energy use and expense? As the heat of the summer drags on, stop wondering if you have an insulation problem and call us for a free evaluation. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation. We started our insulation business because we wanted to help people save money on those energy bills, reduce their carbon footprint, and live a healthier life.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282. That's 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Koala Insulation. Clean, knowledgeable, and trusted.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
I want to go as far away, besides Hawaii, I guess, from Florida as we can. If Keldon Slovis is bad, Clay Helton will be fired from USC. It's a easy schedule. That's the thing. It's an easy schedule. No Oregon, so you would have to lose games you're supposed to win.
Wow, like you knew where that was? Like you had that on speed dial?
I mean, the pigskin prognosticator over here.
Hey, man.
Wow.
Also, I found out his name is not Keldon. It's like Keaton.
It's Keaton, yeah.
But who cares? That's not the point. The point is, I was right.
Nicely
The funny
done.
thing is, like, I remember when we did that, I was like, heard you had said Keldon. I was like, I swear I just did a show last night and said Keaton on TV, and like, one of us are right. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
I had him on a Heisman hopeful list. Brent Mortno live at Sneakers in Jax Beach here for a couple more minutes, and then 7 o'clock on Fox 30, we'll have Jags Report Live. Jihad Ward, Jaguars defender, will be here with us, and looking forward to a fun show as we kick off the year on TV with Jags Report Live. Austin Lane and Casey in the Action Sports Jax studios. Be on the road basically most of the week. I'm going to be at Top Golf tomorrow, Austin Lane. Bring your A game, man.
I'm there. Well, I mean, I'll bring some kind of game, but yeah, I'm definitely down to at least hit a couple. Kind of show, kind of get back on that long ball express, if you will.
Yeah, so tomorrow we're going to debut a show here on the radio side, kind of like a show within a show. First couple hours we'll do our normal show, and then we're going to bring Scobie in at 5 o'clock. Josh Scobie will join us, and we'll have some fun. Tuesdays at Top Golf. I hope you can join us between 5 and 6 o'clock from there. The Yankees did win, walk-off style, Minnesota'd, and they blew a 5-0 lead. So that was too bad. But overall, hey, Casey, you're a big baseball guy, I know, and you own the rights to the Brewers here on this show, Austin Lane.
Better believe it.
So you guys have good teams.
Great teams, one would say.
Just a quick thought, like in baseball right now, you say Tampa, really good team. White Sox, really good team.
Sure.
I'll give Houston, good team. I don't know how really good, but I think they're good. The Braves, wouldn't even put in, like, I don't even think Braves fans feel like they're really good or good. Like,
yeah,
it might just be okay, Yeah. Milwaukee's really good. San Francisco and the Dodgers really good, and the Padres have faltered into an I don't know land, quite frankly. My point in this conversation is everybody else that's fighting for a playoff spot appears to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not even like close to good.
The Reds, yep.
No, seriously, the Red Sox are not good. Now, Toronto's playing really good ball to get you almost into that good category, but they've been weird up until the last couple of weeks. The Yankees are just not good. Like, they're not. Like, if the Yankees make the playoffs, they're not winning the World Series. They're not good enough.
Yeah.
Seattle and Oakland keep losing. They're not good. And everybody in chase mode in the NL, for the most part, isn't good. Like, to your point, yes, Cincinnati really isn't that good. So it's just a wild thing. I think there are 6 teams maybe that can win the World Series, and that's it.
I mean, we say that, Brent, but then just a couple years ago, the Washington Nationals, as I think a wild card team, kind of shocked the world a little bit.
Yeah, wild card teams have done it.
I mean, they have done it, but you just feel like it's the year of pitching a little bit, right? And I mean, I don't know. Like, I get what you're saying for sure, but then I say that, and all of a sudden it's going to be the surprise team that we had no idea coming is going to win the whole thing. You know, it's just the way it goes.
Hey, I got a Ravens game against the Raiders tonight. The Ravens all banged up. By the way, you can listen to that game 7:30 on ESPN 690, part of our Westwood One coverage. Love having the NFL right here on ESPN 690, so you can listen to that while you are driving. Ravens, Raiders. Think we'll get a good game tonight for Monday Night Football.
For me personally, I think it'll be a great game in the fact of what is Baltimore going to look like with their fourth-string running back right now. Now, they are a run-first team. You still have Lamar Jackson. They've added Sammy Watkins. What is that offense going to look like? You get the sense with Gruen, you know what he wants to do. I think Josh Jacobs, is he playing tonight? Did they announce it?
You know what? He's on my fantasy team, and he was downgraded to questionable.
Yeah, he's questionable.
Okay, he's questionable. Also, keep in mind, Darren Waller revenge game and also Darren Waller's birthday.
Oh,
so maybe 20 receptions for 500 yards or something like that for Darren Waller? But
I actually like the Raiders tonight.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Like outright, which could be bad. So put your money on
coming from the guy who's 1-11 in picks this year.
I mean, any reason why? Or just
colors?
I think,
isn't this is technically their home, like their debut of the stadium.
This is true.
The place is going to be electric. Yeah. Baltimore, listen, I had a little bit of this theory with New Orleans, and they handled all the adversity fine here in Jacksonville. They thumped Green Bay, but I do think there's a little shock to the system in Baltimore right now with all those losses. So I just think this is a nice time for the Raiders to come out and have a really big performance and they're veteran enough. Derek Carr knows what to do. I think they'll really get buoyed by that home field and the debut of that stadium. That's why. I mean, I don't know. Baltimore's probably the better. They match up 10 times. I'm probably picking Baltimore most of the times.
No, for sure.
But I just feel like this is a night that they can get them.
I like it.
So we'll see. I don't know what the Raiders are going to be. Still haven't quite figured them out.
Brent, real quick, I wanted to ask you, get your expert baseball opinion. Saturday, Corbin Burns, Josh Hader combined for no-hitter. But no, a serious question. So they pull Corbin Burns in the ninth because he's at a pitch count of 115. Would you have kept him in to go for the no-hitter, or would you took him out as well, as Craig Counsell did?
Yeah, I'm a big believer in I would keep that guy in.
Yeah.
I feel like that moment is special for a player, and if I'm that close, I'm probably going to do it. I understand there's a longer game here for the Brewers, right? So you got to be – do you keep him in? They break up the no-hitter. He throws 128 pitches, and next week is on the IL, because something happened, and then it all goes back to this game. That's a little bit of CYA on Counsell's part, but that's probably pretty cool to do it with Hader as well because he's so dominant and has been over the years.
Sure.
But I would have kept him in.
All right, yeah, I just want to get your opinion.
Did you see the exchange? Like, was he ticked off that he was coming out?
No, he seemed to be in good spirits. I think he kind of knew what was up. He was on that pitch count, and he was happy for Hader as well. So he seemed to have some pretty high spirits.
Yeah, I mean, there's big things in store maybe for the Brewers this year. So.
Yeah.
That could make sense. All right. Hey, that was, I don't know. It wasn't quite a miserable Monday. Still had fun, but
yeah,
we'll talk more Jags.
You know what,
tomorrow.
though, man? We got through it together, Brett, and that's the most important part.
We did.
Yeah.
And we'll do it at Top Golf tomorrow, 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock. Join us there. And listen to the Ravens-Raiders tonight, 7:30, right here on ESPN 690. And you can watch us on TV. Jihad Ward will join us from Sneakers for Jags Report Live, 7 o'clock on Fox 30. Casey, you killed it with the opens, man. Nice work.
Appreciate it.
Good job today, man.
You bet. You were the MVP today, no doubt about it. We'll see you again tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for listening on ESPN 690.